Chapter 81. Sound-Killing Knife. Chapter 81. Sound-Killing Knife. This white-haired witch is a big Ashura. This is the master of the magical mystery, her magic knife. We are not her opponent. Although Fang Han cultivated the foundation of the Jin Luo Jin famine, but there are still some taboos for the masters of the magical mystery. And his sensoriness is very sensitive, and he feels the dangerous atmosphere of this white-haired witch. The master of the magical mystery is not so easy to deal with. Although Yan is also equivalent to a layer 2 figure in the mysterious secrets, the real combat power is doubtful. The child has a lot of magic weapons, and even treasures. What is the end? Nebula baby. It seems that in the group of stars, the status is not low, but no cultivation to the magical mystery, relying on a few magic weapons. How can you defeat the group devil? There are fadging jade veins here, and the guardian army of the demon is the royal clan of the Mozu, which is extraordinary. What should I do? A vein, the army that guards is not a minority, not to mention the white-haired witch of this big Ashura, and the army that guards the veins is also a dead end. That won't, a vein, thousands of miles, even thousands of miles, like a country's border line. The guarded army is scattered. Each has a mission. If all the army is killed, what else to do? So No will encounter the siege of the Mozu army. This is the edge of the veins. These devils are the border troops stationed. Even if there is no siege, there are hundreds of white hairs flying here, and there is a white-haired witch, the big Ashura. We are afraid that we can't win. The white-haired zombies here, if all are killed, how much blood Dan has been made. This big Ashura has been lowered, and it is no small feat. It can add infinite capital to us. That's what you have to eat. If you can't eat anything, you can kill it if you swallow it. It's not worth it. Let's go. At this point, if you want to go, you can't go. Grand Ashura has noticed us. Several people exchanged quickly, and Hexianzi and Hongyi County advocated to leave immediately. When I met the Yaksha, there was nothing in the flying night fork. I met the white-hair flying feather, and great Ashura, of the Emperor's blood. The other side also had a powerful weapon. Once I missed it, I didn't know how to die, but Fang Bingbing said, cancelled. They thought about leaving. The little child, trapped in a group of white-hair flying stiff, holds a star-studded bracelet in his hand. The bracelet constantly emits starlight and wraps himself into a ball like a wolf. Starlight ball. Those blasting swords that white-hair flies are slashing up, sending out a burst of gold and iron symphony, and Mars is shining, and all the knives are gaps. This starlight ball is very heavy, like a planet floating, not moving, unable to be removed. Not as floating as the wolf smoke ball. This Xingyan baby relies on this magic weapon to withstand hundreds of white-hair flying attacks. Even the white-haired witch, Big Ashura, seems to have done it, but did not break the protection. Obviously, the bracelet in the hands of the Nebula baby is a treasure. Real baby, a higher grade than the spirit. Wow, what I just came out to play. Take a few spar, you will chase me, and eat my flesh. Don't eat my flesh, I will give you the spar. Wow. This Nebula baby is in the starlight method ball. It seems to be a little scared. It is a tearful, really a child of 5 or 6 years old. It is not a master of martial arts. It can reduce the body's changes. Baby child. A few more orthodox disciples flies, and temporarily put down your flesh. Eat slowly, I will solve these few. White-haired witch, Grand Ashura did not pay attention to the cry of this Xingyan baby, suddenly turned after a long time. A pair of magic eyes looked at Fang Han, Shanzi, Hongyi County. Fang Han's head was shocked. This white-haired witch was so beautiful. It's a pair of eyes, and it's a ghost, and the face is plunging into the country. After seeing it, even the emperor must abandon the mountains and the mountains. It is necessary to give up the fairy tales and fall into the dust. Well, this is magic power. Fortunately, I have been to the devil's battlefield experience, or I have to be recruited. In an instant, Fang Han was awake. I saw that this big Ashura is beautiful, but it is impossible to make a face up. I fell down on my skirt. I am Yo. In the moment of waking up, Sensen has already approached his body. Fast knife. Sound kill magic knife. The speed of the knife flying is comparable to the sound. This great Ashura witch will cast a poisonous hand in an instant, and she will set it to death. The red light burst on the blood cotton magic clothing, resisted the killing of the sound-killing knife, but it also stopped the speed of the knife a little, paused a little, the red light was torn, and it was retracted into the clothes. The magic knife continues to kill. If there is no accident, after the next blink, Fang Han will be split in half. The sound-killing magic knife, originally is a superb spirit, plus the master of the great Ashura, which is the master of the magical powers. With mana, under the urging, the power is greater. A knife to break the blood cotton magic clothes, red light is nothing at all. The blood cotton magic clothing, mana is broken, it takes a long time to recover, but no more than the 7 wolfberry moisturizing. If the 7 gourds are on me, you can fight, now you can only rely on you, hee. Fang Han's thoughts were on the fire. At this moment, he gave up the resistance. Because there was no resistance, he could only do his best, attack. 10 heads of Shira, under the madness of his heart, slammed the flying sword, and then smothered, between the swordsmanship, the power was no longer. 10 swords, flying swords, 10 Shira, while killing, how powerful is it? At that time, I had calculated that I could directly kill the master of the level of Jinshitai. Sure enough, the white-haired witch, Grand Ashura's face changed, and the white hair on her head was stringed like a snake. Then her side, a sly mana, ran up and killed the flying sword. In the air. N-O-V-E in .c Ohm. Yellow Spring Network, the sound-killing magic knife came to the body, and he did not dare to neglect. He made the greatest resistance in a moment. Along the way, Wangquan Shengshui flew out, and it was condensed with its infuriating, directly smashing the magic knife. Oh, when the spring water of Wangquan came into contact with the magic knife, the smoke immediately appeared on the magic knife. It seemed to be splashed by the acid. The white-haired witch, in the distance, the big Ashura, was shocked. She has just used mana to resist the killing of 10 flying swords. The power of the sound-killing magic knife has weakened, and Wangquan Shengshui has specifically eliminated the spiritual brand on the magic weapon. The power of this great Ashura is not strong enough to withstand the erosion of the holy water of Wangquan. As long as it is poured onto the body of the magic weapon is easily erased from the spiritual mark and becomes a thing without the Lord. Wangquan holy water, but even, Hua Tiandu, are yearning for things. The sound of killing the magic knife, with a sound of snoring, was, Yan, into the picture of Huang Quan. Fang Han is out of danger. Chapter 82, Falling Witch. Chapter 82, Falling Witch. Good insurance. This magic knife is really powerful. If it is not your fierce counterattack, it will contain the mana of this big Ashura. I am afraid that I can't restrain it. This magic knife will not split you in half. I am afraid I will seriously hurt you. I received a sound-killing knife, and I was also worried. Fang Han is almost cold sweat has emerged, just if it is not for his own initiative, regardless of all the anti-killing of this, white hair witch, big Ashura, contain her mana. Instead, he used 10 swords to resist the magic knife. Maybe the other side could do nothing, and he was immediately killed. One death and one life, one thought. This has added a lot of practical experience to Fang Han. The thick spiritual power in his mind, rolling and condensing, more concentrated, more compact, there is a taste of crystallization, the mind is more brilliant, the mind is clear, it seems to be able to penetrate all the secrets of the brain. At the same time, he controls his own sacred points, changes his body shape, controls the secretion of various organs of the body, and is more comfortable. It can be said that the body is more of its own. Between life and death fighting each other, the spirit is highly concise, there seems to be a trend to change. The promotion from the physical body to the mysterious secret is a process of spiritual transformation and transformation into mana. This is the sublimation of the will, to experience all kinds of hardships, many times in the life and death line, one day, suddenly a big change, breaking into a butterfly. This is very difficult. Therefore, the disciples inside the door of Yuhuaman, the strength of many people is actually not under the cold, but it is the reason why it is too late to step into the mysterious secret. In this way, I will step into the mysterious secret sooner or later, and I will change the key step. I am not in a hurry. Now the stronger the body is, the more powerful the mana will be after entering the mysterious secret. Fang Han was keenly aware of his own changes, and his heart was even more anxious. Sound-killing knife. A burst of explosives, just washed by Huang Quansheng water, a pure, sound-killing knife, was sent out by Yan. Fang Han grabbed it in his hand, gently stroked, the skin broke open, the light golden blood penetrated into among the magic knives. Suddenly, this magic knife slammed loudly, and Fang Han established a relationship between flesh and blood, which was smelted by Fang Han and became his magic knife. Good knife. Feel the weight of this accent-killing knife, and the mana of the scorpion, especially the inside of the blade, the power of the core violently running, the chill is blooming, he feels that this magic knife is of quality, or the strength of the big array is far more than the silver snake sword, true blue sword, and red sword. The intensity of the large-scale operation of the sound-killing magic knife is much stronger than that of the general flying sword. Otherwise, it is impossible to support the magic knife flying, comparable to the speed of sound. This magic knife is between the spirit and the treasure. As long as this big Ashura is cultivated to the fifth heaven of the mysterious secrets, and can arrange a large array, he can put his own magical power and the combination of the two makes the magic knife change and evolve into a treasure. The material used in this magic knife is Tianiming Ti, yin-yang steel, positive and negative magnet, and how many crystals are not known. Not under the 7 gourds. It must be the baby of the great refining of the great Ashura. You master this magic knife, the power is greatly increased. But it is easy to be peeped and taken away. Because of blood refining the surgery is not secure. If you have the mana and the technique of refining, even if the supernatural power is 4 or 5 heavier than you, if you don't have the holy water of Wangquan, you can't take it away. Yan, between the breath, a lot of information was passed to Fang Han's mind, and instantly let Fang Han know the mystery of the sound-killing knife. The technique of blood refining, the technique of law refining, I know it clearly. Fang Han communicated with the spirit. Blood refining is the sacrifice, it is the most superficial method, and it is easy to take away the Phagian magic weapon when encountering the master of the magical mystery. The practice of the law, the strength of the sacrifice is much more stable. This accent kills the magic knife, which was originally a white-haired witch, and she did not take it away, but she encountered the freak of Yan, and the holy water of Wangquan. The exchange between the two people is purely spiritual exchange, and the electric light is fire. If you use words, I am afraid that they will be killed 7 or 8 times. 10 flying swords, 10 Shira. You are a disciple, but you have also cultivated magic power. And there are so many flying swords. The white-haired witch, Ashura, has been surrounded by Jiangguang, Shira. He also used his fists and feet to blow up the woman. However, this witch's mana is very majestic, and a mana is running around the body. It seems to be colloidal. It actually sticks to these flying swords and Shira, making them slow down. Fang Han clearly felt that under the erosion of the witch's mana, his spiritual mark was somewhat fluctuating. It is not that he is determined to change his mind now, and he is afraid that these things have already been accepted. If there is no other means, these Phagian Shira can't break the magic power of the witch, and sooner or later they will be charged. Hey, a knife in hand, ghosts don't stay. N-O-V-E in .c Om. Fang Han where the witch can refine his own spirit, hand 1, a spirit passed to the sound-killing knife, suddenly the large array of fierce operation. Bang, a strong knife blast, tearing the airflow, directly bombarded the witch's body protecting mana. Kyla, Kyla. A torn satin sounds, the witch's mana is actually smashed by the sound of the magic knife, the slashing knife, violently approaching her body, more reflected she was terrified, glamorous face. The witch is beautiful and suffocating, but Fang Han has no pity and cherished jade heart, and is determined to kill each other with one heart and one mind, and the ghost does not stay. Magic robe. At this moment, the witch will not wait to die, once again. The white robes on the body, suddenly spurred, gave a white gold brilliance and wrapped himself in it. Her dress is actually a spiritual device. The mana was broken, and she only had the last protection by the spirit. However, the next is incredible, the sound of killing the magic knife, 10 flying swords, once again bombarded down, the white gold brilliance was smashed, the clothes on the witch's body tear, and turned into a naked body in the blink of an eye. 10 heads of Shira took advantage of the situation, violently punched, hit her body, this witch screamed screamingly, squirting blood in the mouth, falling to the ground. Don't kill her. The meaning of Yan appeared in Fang Han's mind. Then a yellow spring net flew down and directly pulled the injured great Ashura witch into the picture of Huang Quan. Fortunately, she did not reach the point where she practiced the mana as a real element. If she reached the second secret of the magical powers, it would be somewhat difficult to deal with her today. It is very useful to keep her alive. Use Wangquan holy water to make her become your jealousy, so you have a mysterious secret. Wangquan Shengshui, also known as soup, forgets the water, has no effect. However, Fang Han had no way to answer at this time, because hundreds of white hairs flew and saw the big Ashura witch out of the matter, abandoned the attacking the nebula baby, and screamed and danced. Kill. Fang Han raised his hand again, the sound killed the magic knife, 10 swords and 10 heads Shira, sweeping the sky. The Red Yi County Lord also put up the real blue sword. The tragic massacre began. Chapter 83. Sun and Moon 5-Star Bracelet. Chapter 83 Sun and Moon 5-Star Bracelets. Puff. It seems that I have blown up an egg, blood and water flow, white hair flying dead. Mozu royal family was swept by Fang Han's sound-killing knife, and the waist was killed into 2 cuts, but it was also shocked by a huge impact. A group of ****** pulp. The sharpness of the sound-killing knife does not say that the speed of the impact alone can smash the steel and blast it. Even if the white hair flies, and the body is hard, it has no use. However, Yan will not be so wasteful. Huang Quan nets fly, and all the corpses, blood, and magic knives are collected and made a fortune. White hair flying stiff, the devil's royal family, how strong is the blood Dan made? It can make the 10 heads of the sword and the konjac have enough food to take, so as to maintain a strong physical strength, and even change again. Although it is necessary to let the 10 heads of Shira change again, it is necessary to know how many genius treasures are piled up, but the remedies made by the Emperor's blood system have also given them the opportunity to change. Otherwise, there is no way to change again in a lifetime. The stronger the power of Fang Han, the more secure you are. The chances of getting a pure yang magic weapon will be greater, and restoring strength is no longer a dream. Every white hair flies, they have instruments in their hands, the wind knife. It is also a great fortune. Fang Han's whole heart was immersed in the fight against the white hair flying stiff, and the devil head fluttering in the sky, whistling. And his mind controlled 10 heads of Shuluo, surrounded by a military formation, each other is a corner, and the 3 of them were firmly guarded in it, and the sound-killing knife was directly killed. The head of the white hair flying stiff was directly killed. The sound of killing the magic knife bloodthirsty kept ringing. The true blue sword also passed through a body of white hair flying stiff. Zhangguang flashed again and again. More than 30 swords passed, killing this demon royal family to a serious injury. The power of the true blue sword is far less than the sound of killing the magic knife, and the spirit of the Red Yi County is not as strong as Fang Hanqiang. So it is a bit difficult to kill the devil. You must know that in the middle of the Bohai Sea, it was difficult for Mo Shiji to sacrifice the true blue sword to kill the flying night fork. And now the white hair flying stiff is much fiercer than the flying night fork, and it is almost comparable to Shira. Blasting, Jin Rui Fu. The owner of Hongyi County also felt that it was difficult to kill the devil. Suddenly he took back the flying sword and found 2 instruments at the level of the instrument. During the shaking, the 2 symbols burned and turned into a wind. A golden light is attached to the flying sword. ZZ, got the blessing of this sign, the true blue sword broke out, the speed increased sharply, the wind rushed, the upper Zhangguang also exploded and swallowed, only 1 stroke between them, slashed ahead white hair flies behind the wings. Cool. Fang Han looked at the owner of Hongyi County strangely. He didn't understand why the Red Yi County had so many laws. Just the 2 blasts, Jin Rufu, the first is to increase the speed of the flying sword, and the second is to increase the sharpness of the flying sword. But it is not permanent, the effect can only last for half an hour, and the mana will dissipate. The flying sword returned to its original state. Although this is the case, the true blue sword's lethality has increased several times, killing the devil's head, and not spending any power. Although the instrument is the lowest level, it has a wide variety and is very helpful to the life of the practitioner. Not only can it be used ingeniously, but it can still receive unexpected results. For example, when Hongyi County and the people fight the sword, suddenly display these 2 signs, you can break the enemy's flying sword and kill the enemy on the spot. The 1-on-1, white hair flying dead, was killed. In the twinkling of an eye, the 5 or 60 Mozu royal family children died of extinction, cheekbones, weapons, and blood, all became the wealth of Fang Han. Generally, the disciples of the Shandao school have encountered so many devils. They are not opponents at all. Even if they are true disciples, Jin Shite, I am afraid that they will not be able to stand up. However, Fang Han possessed the shackles, 10 heads of Shira, 10 flying swords, and the special effects of Wangquan Shengshui. The witches were defeated and the white hairs were stabbed, but they succeeded in one fell swoop. No-vel-b in .c ohm. Of course, there is also the credit of the Xingyan baby, which attracts most of the firepower. However, the situation is still very dangerous. The 10-headed Shira's battalion is no more than a scorpion, and there are loopholes in protection. In the event that a group has been drilled, the Crane Fairy, the Red Yi County owner can't protect it, and is likely to be killed. The blood cotton magic clothing on Fang Han's body has been shattered by the sound-killing knife. It takes a long time to recover before it can run slowly. Now it can't protect him. Although the Jin Luo Jin is strong, but cannot resist the killing of the magic knife. Boom! Sure enough, after more than a dozen white hairs flew for a while, they suddenly slammed into the hands, and the magic knife flew away. Then they smashed a protective circle of Shira, and then the rest of the white hair flew and sneaked in. Hand over Mo Lin Dagong, spare you not to die. Eat them all. What happened to them? If there is anything out of the magical prince, we must be sentenced to death by the Senate. Desperate to kill these two people in a crane. Kill. These white hairs are flying and stiff, and they all have great wisdom. It is no different from the human soldiers. It is even smarter. When it rushes in, it makes a fierce scream, like a thunder, like a ghost crying. Hey, poke. Well, hey. Fang Han saw the situation crisis, the body re-inhaled, swelled, and the Tianlong octave shocked out. Strong sound waves, sweeping on the spot. Hey, oh, tens of thousands of white hairs rushing into the body, and the body is so stiff that it falls to the ground like a raindrop, and it falls to the ground and falls to death. The Red Yi County Lord did not stop, spurred the flying sword, and stabbed those flying feathers that fell to the ground one by one. These flying stiff, thick flesh, cannot fall to the ground when falling from the height of Beizong, can only stun and faint, and then wake up, and live and jump. Well, is anyone coming to save me? Hearing the sound of the Tianlong octave, the Xingyan baby, sitting in the starlight method ball stopped crying, opened his eyes, and saw that the white hair flying around him was gone, and went to kill another one. Groups of people, suddenly happy to jump up and down. The original white-haired witch, Ashura, is a national of the Mozu, and the title is very high. Further, it is the prince. Between Fang Han, the devils were shaken and lightened. The pressure, then the sound of killing the magic knife, a shock. Also killed dozens of white hair flying stiff. That nebula baby, already out of danger, so a little child, what group of stargates let him out? Fang Han struggled to kill between, thinking in his heart. Suddenly, a star pill jumped and joined the battlefield. Hey, the white hairs that were hit by the star pill flew, and in the twinkling of an eye, they were blown apart. This star pill is so fierce. It turned out to be the nebula baby, flew over and knocked out the bracelet. Sun and Moon 5 stars ray. The cockroach screamed and collected the body immediately. At the same time, I was shocked. This is the 5-star bracelet of the sun and the moon. It is also a pure magic weapon. It is comparable to the Zhugong Jinta. It is in the hands of this little child. The identity of this child is very different. But I want to eat this bracelet. Chapter 84. Nebula Baby. Chapter 84 Nebula Baby. Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet. Pure Yang magic weapon. No wonder I feel that this magic weapon is not moving, the star power is stunned, it is actually something that can rival the Zhugong Jinta. Fang Han deeply knows the Wahidus, 9 Palace Jinta, how powerful, even the Great Whitey Devil, cannot be broken, put it there, the golden light, the madness of the bullfighting, it is simply evil, not invading, it is the guardian of the cave. On the magic weapon. Now, Yan said that this day and the 5-star bracelet and the Zhugong Jinta are comparable. How small is this small bracelet? However, looking at the Yan, a coveted, cannot swallow the momentum, you know how tempting this magic weapon. This day, the 5-star bracelet is a famous treasure weapon as early as 1,000 years ago, and even has the opportunity to become a Taoist. It is the elders of the Stargate, using the power of the violent force to collect the sun, the moon and the star, through the Juyang holy water. It has been tempered and practiced. It has a variety of arrays, and the blood of the long-lived secret master. Unfortunately, the power of this nebula baby is too weak, cannot play the power of this magic weapon. If you change the master of the magical mystery, just swipe these devils, it is not a waste of power. You know, this bracelet shoots when the starlight can be transformed into a 5-star asterisk of the sun and the moon. The power can blow up the mountain, cut off the river, and destroy a city. What a ritual cloak, immediately after the earthquake, is torn apart. If Fang Qingshe gets this baby, use it to come. It is not impossible to break the Zhugong Jinta. If I get my hand, I can use the immersion of Wangquan Shengshui for 36 days to get rid of the spiritual brand inside, and then slowly swallow it, you can reach the 5th of the magical power in one fell swoop. The extent of the human world. While picking up the body of white hair flying stiff, he was very excited when he roared. The pure magic weapon like the Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet is no more than the general spirit, the implement, and the yellow spring holy water. The spiritual branding is eliminated, but it takes a long time to soak, run the mana, wash and wash. Therefore, it is impossible to collect in the battle. Only the treasures will be collected and slowly sacrificed. This magic weapon is obviously a child's personal belongings. Even if we get the hand, it will definitely be traced by the adults. The group of stars will check it out. It is not the same thing. Let's say that if you get a little child, you can't get through on your face. Fang Han used the sound-killing knife, flashing and dancing, Cheng Hong wearing the cloud, and killing more than a dozen white hairs after flying again. The pressure was greatly reduced, because the bracelet was soaring and more than 100 heads were blown up. White hair flies. Compared to the 10 Shira, 10 flying swords, the speed of killing the magic knife is much faster. No matter what powerful devil, as soon as it is touched, it is immediately split, and even the blast knife in the hand is shocked. Cut, there is certainly no possibility of avoiding it. After a few moments, all the white hairs were swept away, and a few of them saw it badly. They flew far away, but they were chased by the sound-killing knife, cut into 2 pieces, and then collected, a little blood not wasting. 1 piece of excellent quality blood Dan refining success, enough for 480. No vel b in .c ohm. These blood Dan, with a platinum luster, full and round, symbolizes the immortality of Jin Dan, can be seen to be the best to provide a strong nourishment. The 480 white hairs are flying and stiff, all killed. The refining of the medicinal herbs is really rich in harvest. The 10 heads of Shira are not lacking in food. Receive. At the end of the battle, the 10-headed Shira was included in the map of Huang Quan, and each of the Shira took a medicinal herb. Suddenly, the scales on them squirmed and changed. On those dark armor, if you grow an inch of thin fluff, it is also a platinum color, and the roots reflect the luster. In the meantime, these Shira also have the demon pedigree. Fang Han knows that these Shira's physical strength is even stronger, and the outer shell is more tough. However, it is impossible to become a big Ashura, to go to the outer shell, to become a witch, and even if it is impossible, even if you eat 1,000 tablets of medicinal herbs every time, you need a chance to be a big one, and their own sudden comprehension. Fang Han himself has not been promoted to the mysterious secret, how are they possible? Come, you can eat one, rest, and restore your strength and spirit. With a wave of his hand, he took out a few blood Dan and gave it to Hexianzi in Hongyi County. This is, although the Red Yi County Lord saw a lot of knowledge, but did not know the blood Dan, but she looked at this white gold medicinal herb, bursting out pure fluctuations, knowing that this is a good medicine, than Jingyuan Dan, which is issued by the Feather Door, has a much better quality. Hexianzi, regardless of the 3721, a long crane mouth, swallowed 3 times and 2 times, suddenly plumage reddish, then it seems more tight and firm, the roots of feathers like white jade, it shows a hard texture, and it now has a little bloodline of the Emperor. The demon in the demon, equivalent to the master of the longevity secret, the blood has various abilities, the benefits of the crane fairy will be reflected one by one. Hey, what kind of candy is this? Give me a good meal. I feel so good. At this moment, the sound of a child sounded and fell to a few people not far away. It was the Nebula baby, the 5 or 6-year-old child sucking his fingers and staring at the platinum-like blood Dan, saliva. It's screaming out. Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet, is a pure young magic weapon worn on his wrist, white and tender, chubby, round and rolling, making people want to take a bite. Come and come, I will give you one. The red eyes of the main eyes of Hongyi County, put this medicinal medicine in the palm of your hand. The baby of the nebula ran over immediately, grabbed it with a small hand, threw it into his mouth, and felt a drunken taste. He quickly picked up and chewed it twice, swallowed it, and licked his mouth. It's delicious, it's delicious. It's more comfortable than the secret wine I sneaked. No, I am drunk, I have to eat candied fruit and hangover. Otherwise I will be beaten by my mother. Blood Dan, it tastes like a drunken taste. It is like a blood-sucking bat sucking up blood, it will be intoxicated. This feeling is very comfortable, but it can also make people's spirits soothing down, and enjoy the side and relax. It can be said that, sometimes for smoked and drunk, I ask who I am. Between the words, this nebula baby, hand sway, do not know where to take out a bunch of candied fruit gourd, but also smashed it up, This sugar-gourd green color, like a jade one, connected in series, the fragrance is attacking people. Jade Qingdan, Yan, once again shocked. This is better than the blue dandan. This child's candied haws, it is actually Jade Qingdan, too luxurious. Too extravagant. You are called Nebula Baby. Do you want to eat my candy remedy? You still want to eat, I will give you 10 tablets, eat slowly. Fang Han said. Of course, of course. This is more comfortable than drinking. I don't have to steal alcohol in the future. Nebula Baby looked at Fang Han, hoping to give him a few more remedies. Then tell me, who is your aunt? Asked Fang Han. I don't know what name I am yelling. I only know that others call him the star owner. He often retreats and does not play with me. I stole his things and ran out to play with myself. The Nebula Baby shook his head. Star Master. This is the honorary name of the group of stars. The Lord of the Stars. This man has cultivated into the longevity secret in 3,000 years. How come there is such a small son? Fang Han shuddered. What is there? The master of the long-lived mystery can also have children with the Tao. Maybe the Star Master has been thinking for a few years, and he has a double with his priest. There is nothing. The demon in the demon has also many children. The big ones are thousands of years old, the small ones are more than 10 years old. I don't care. Xingyan Baby, your bracelet is so beautiful, can you show me? The owner of Hongyi County suddenly said. Okay. Nebula Baby took the Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet, and handed it over. Chapter 85. Big Cockroach. Chapter 85. The hand of Hongyi County was also a little trembling. She did not think that the Nebula Baby was so deceived, and she handed over a pure Yang Zibao. This baby can be said to be worth more than a few supernatural masters. Although the 7 gourds are treasures, they are far less than this bracelet. You must know that this bracelet has the opportunity to be promoted into the existence of a Taoist device, defense, and attack. There is a force to push the mountains in reclamation. Ordinary people own this bracelet, and the master of the magical powers is not an opponent. When a bracelet was caught in her hand, she felt soft and soft, the starlight broke into the whole body, the bones and muscles were shined brightly, and some of the impurities in the body were refining, refreshing and refreshing. It seems to be flying right away. Originally wearing the Sun and Moon 5-star bracelets, also has the effect of purifying the flesh, killing the 9 insects, refining impurities. This sister, you think it looks good, just borrow it for a while, but give it back to me later. This is the baby I stole, I can't give it away. Otherwise my mother will beat me. The Nebula Baby waved a big hand. This bracelet is very comfortable to wear. My mother said that as long as I wear a few nails, my bones will be transformed into stars and bones. I have been wearing it for a few years, my body is great, my sister is yours. The body is too bad. When I heard the baby of the Nebula say this, the owner of Hongyi County was a little embarrassed. His face was red, and he gently stroked the Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet, to allow the star to penetrate the whole body. The stars and fairy bones, that the Nebula Baby said, it is not the same as a small one. After the supernatural powers, it is a phenomenon that can reverse the flesh and change the fate, not the flesh and blood. Come, Fang Han, look at it. After wearing it for a while, I felt that many stars remained in the body, a little close to fullness. The owner of Hongyi County reluctantly retired the bracelet and handed it to Fang Han. After wearing it for a while, she felt that she had benefited a lot, refining the impurities in the flesh, which was good for her future cultivation. Even after a few months, the original Zhangkong of the mountain river list said not necessarily. Fang Han is also a bit curious about this bracelet, but he does not intend to lie to the Nebula Baby, otherwise it is too conscience. After all, he is still a fairy, not the kind of devil. If it is a demon, I am afraid to kill the Nebula Baby directly, and take away the Japanese 5-star bracelet, because this magic weapon, enough masters can lead to the magical masters are crazy. After picking up the bracelet, it was light and fluttering. Like a bunch of white clouds, it felt very good. Then he took a little spirit. When the bracelet suddenly burst out, it was a smashing star, like a flying meteor, and the sky fell into his body. Later, like the Hongyi County Lord, he felt that the stars were refining, the stars were sturdy, the pure yang was full of energy, and the star power was faintly combined with the taste of the Jinluo. Originally, in his internal vision, one of his own bones was white and tight, and now the star force is in the body, and the bones are more smashed, and a layer of star glue is wrapped outside, and the elasticity is better. This sub-star force into the body, He felt his physical strength, flexibility, explosive power, the expansion of muscles, have increased by 1 or 2. Only then did I know why I would hang on this bracelet. N-O-V-E in .c ohm. After wearing it for a while, I felt that the star power was also stuffed in the body and there was a feeling of overflow. Fang Han's bracelet was faded and still returned to the nebula baby. This magic weapon is not the same as a small one. It can cause hurricanes in the monks. You have to protect yourself, or go back to the stars. Remember that the people are sinister, and the rivers and lakes are deep. But you are still young, you may not understand. Fang Han solemnly said. In the picture of Huang Quan, there is no sound. Fang Han also feels that he is hesitating, deceiving such a child's things, and also insulting the identity of the dragon. The heart is sinister, the rivers and lakes are deep. My mother also said this to me. The nebula baby licked his hand and put the bracelet on it again. I just want to play. I don't want to go back, the stars are too stuffy. Those elders, uncles and uncles, knowing cultivation all day, don't know how to play with me. Now it's okay, you have fun with me. Right, let's go to the sparkling stone. I'll secretly take it. A few pieces of sparkling stones are chased by them and eat my flesh. Right, Fajing Jade. Fang Han and Hongyi County, the crane fairy looked at each other and was reminded to see it in the distance. Just this white-haired witch, Grand Ashura, 480 white-haired flying dead demons, are all guarding the veins of the veins. Now they have annihilated this army. The best thing is to collect the veins and obtain the crystal jade. Go. Riding on the crane ferry, the shiver flies out, and in the distance is the black lacquered stretch of the mountains. I don't know what dangers are hidden. However, Fang Han's eyesight is very powerful. With a little light, he can see far away. He faintly saw the distant mountains. A magnificent castle stands. In the mountains around the castle, there are many mines. The whole is like a termite nest. Many devils, such as ants, go in and out of the mine, and some push the iron pulley to transport the ore of one car in one car. These ores are not the crystal jade, they have to be from them. Finding and refining is a hard work and requires a lot of labor. In this mountain, hundreds of thousands of devils are coolies. Fang Han does not care about the power of these devils. In fact, killing these devils is not a demon slayer, because they are also the object of slavery. He flew directly to the castle, and certainly stored the crystal jade, and took the refined jade away, even if it was rich. Fajing jade contains mana, which is useful for the master of the flesh, but it is of little use, but the role of the master of the magical powers is great. Because the masters of the mysterious secrets are in the opposite direction, when the mana is not good, they can communicate with the crystal and use the law to do their work. The mana is as powerful as the physical strength. It will be consumed in the enemy. Once the mana is consumed, the body is extremely exhausted and it takes a long time to rest. As he flew toward the castle, the spirit of Fang Han also entered the picture of Huang Quan, and saw the white-haired witch, Ashura, who was trapped by the shackles. Listen to your hand to call you Molin Dagong, presumably your name is Molin, your title in the devil is the national official. Female country, not bad, high weight. But now I am going to your castle to collect Fajing Jade, what you know, where to hide the magic crystal. I am not embarrassed, otherwise your life is dangerous. Fang Han threatened. Where is this place? The great Ashura witch heard the sound of Fang Han, and she said abruptly. Here, it is above the Huangquan River. The whole Huangquan picture suddenly became bright, and the dragon, Yan, appeared in the river. Chapter 86. Under the Shackles. Chapter 86. Huangquan River. Impossible, impossible, Huangquan River is the bottom of our holy river. The water for forgetting in the water has been refining and being dried up by Huangquan Emperor for thousands of years. Since then, it has disappeared in the world. How can it appear in you? The body of the little disciple. No, you are. The white-haired witch, Grand Ashura, saw the look of Yan, and all the pretty faces were scared. You are a dragon. No, you are not a dragon, but a dragon. Yes, I am the dragon vein of the holy river of Huangquan. He sneered coldly. You are in the ages of the ages, and you can see it in the yellow spring. You can know that it is impossible to escape with the first heavy repair of your gods. Got it. You are the leader of the demons, you will not know the power of this picture. I don't believe, how is your supernatural power so weak? The dragon vein of Huangquan River is no less than the magical demon ***** of the longevity secret, the immortality of the immortal. The white-haired witch, Asura, looked at the river under his feet, the yellow holy water, and did not dare to act rashly. Hey, you know what, I was hurt by the immortals. I only have a trace of remnant, but now I have restored 1,000th of the mana. It also suppresses you firmly, let alone. I can control this forgotten water, splashing on you, you immediately lose all your memory. Become a walking dead. I don't care, he is now the second most sacred, true master. Steady suppression of this witch. What about the feathered disciple outside? Nature is the descendant of Huang Quan's emperor, a generation of emperors coming to Japan. You are very fortunate, he trusted him during his growth, and he will be the emperor's favorite in the future. The future is boundless, and he is more honorable than the present devil. Much. The three old demons of the demons, the old guys, weren't the only ones who wanted the Huangquan emperor's head. What did they count? Between the words, the forgetting water, in the Huangquan river was driven, rolled and scattered, and washed into a water column, and wrapped the witch in it. The witch immediately looked alert, for fear of being contaminated by water. Fang Han can take a shower in the water, because he took Ju Jin Jin Dan. The average person bathes in the water, I am afraid that he will lose his memory. He does not know who he is, what his name is, where he comes from, and a blank in his mind. Hurry up and thank the master, and later call yourself a courtier. The future is limitless, or else I will indulge in the body and let you lose all the memory. It can still be used for me. I don't seem to want to wash away the memory of this witch right away, because the witch knows a lot of things, and the other side is very useful after the cold. The face of the witch was indefinite, and it seemed to be struggling inside, but then Fang Han's words broke her heart defense line. Do you think that this water is not true? Otherwise, how do I accept your sound? Magic knife. Chen Chen Mo Lin met the emperor, and wished the emperor a unified magic door in the future, the generations of the future, the world is long. The magic light flashed in the eyes of the witch, squatting and leaning over. Well, after you go out, don't call me any emperor, just say it is my embarrassment. Don't call Mo Lin, it is called Fang Zhaolin. Fang Han calmly said, he also knows that the big Ashura is very embarrassed, I believe it is not, but now you can also use one or two. Slow, looking at Fang Han and the witches are going out, the road of yin and yin, between his words, a drop of yellow spring water flies up, changes into a lot of characters in the air, suddenly flies out, photographed in the witch's Tianmanon, actually penetrated into the scalp. Under the circumstance, the witch did not have time to resist, plus she had just used Fang Dufa, and consumed a lot, the mana has not recovered, and even the tricks. This is Huangquanman's forgetfulness, forgetting the water condensation, used to shock you. Big Ashura is deceitful, I don't know, I am afraid that when you go out and restore your mana, you will immediately turn your face and wait for an opportunity to escape. If I am do not control you, also known as Dragon Pulse. In my love sign, as long as you are a little worried, I immediately sense, the character will break, you immediately lose all memories, and even become an idiot. Quote. It's very sinister to laugh. Hate, I have lost my freedom since then, and I have to wait for this kid. It is so easy to be a demon. There are 9,999 in the middle of the road, our demon family, I don't know how many people are shocked, but there are only 3 demons. You think you are a god, and a mysterious secret is not a kid. The witch gnaws her teeth and hates the sky, and it is difficult to wash the water. N-O-V-E in .c ohm. However, Fang Han ignored her grievances. Her grievances showed that she had no choice but to swear on her mouth. Fang Han, is this? The witch came out of the picture of Huang Quan, but it shocked the owner of Hongyi County. The crane fairy flashed its wings and almost fell to the ground. Fortunately, the Xingyan baby, next to it sent a starlight, which made everyone care, live. The witch was clean and tidy, her clothes had been smashed, and there was no clothes between the moments. Fang Han quickly said, Hong Yi, give her a set of clothes. No, go to my castle, I have clothes myself. My magic robe was originally a spirit, but it was broken by you, but the core is still there, I can use materials to rebuild a spirit. The witch is faint, so I don't hide my wonderful body. Xingyan baby, don't look at it. The owner of Hongyi County quickly caught the eyes of the Nebula baby, for fear that the child would learn badly. In a few moments, several people landed in the majestic castle in the mountains. The castle was very old, but it was strong and strong, revealing a sinister atmosphere, but it was very clean, clean and tidy, clean and spotless, without a dead end. There are no servants in the castle. Ordinary demons can't get in, and the original white-haired flying dead royal family, all of them have been killed, so there is no obstacle at all. Fang Han went to the magnificent hall in the castle, sitting in a gorgeous chair, watching the witch change clothes. When the witch changed clothes, she also took a coffin-like box. The box smashed open, and suddenly the brilliance flashed, the mana fluctuated, and a strand of energy that struck the soul's power crystal was displayed in front of everyone. Fang Han saw the box, all of which were slab-sized and presented with an octagonal-shaped spar. These spar are the crystal, or baby with mana. It is also a master of magical powers, a supreme medicine to restore mana. It is the best material for making musical instruments and refining the spirits. The master of the flesh, in order to refine all kinds of magical symbols, you must have these magic to provide mana, otherwise it is difficult for a woman to be a rice. Oh, the fun spar. Nebula Baby got together and picked up a few spar, very fun look. What do we do now? The Red County owner also knew that Fang Han had conquered the witch. I am practicing in this castle, practicing for 10 days and a half months. I am attacking the mysterious secrets. If I can break through in one fell swoop, then we will go to another vein, play a fall wind, capture the head of the big Ashura, and accumulate the spar. Dafa made a fortune. Right, just as the Nebula Baby is here, we use his Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet to quench the body. The Crane Fairy can change. Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet, pure yang magic weapon, use it to cultivate, with the help of star force to quench the body, that is no better. Fang Han decided to practice this, and shock the mystery. Chapter 87, Shock Supernatural. Chapter 87 Shocks. It's an accident to meet a Nebula Baby. It is even more an accident for the Nebula Baby to have a Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet. The starlight in the 5-star bracelet of the Sun and the Moon is the refined pure star force, changing the roots of the human body, shaping the body, changing the blood and changing the marrow, which is its special effect. Although Fang Han is not willing to swindle this bracelet, it is still possible to practice with this bracelet. Now his body is starving and sinking into the bones. He even combined with the fascinating body of Jinluo, and once again pushed the physical strength to the first layer. This is the opportunity to break through is absolutely difficult to find in the future. This Nebula Baby, it is my lucky star, maybe I broke through the mysterious secrets, and really fell on him. Among the witches' castles, it was very clean and no one was disturbing. After taking the medicinal herb, Hexianzi went to sleep. The Nebula Baby squatted on a soft blood wolf leather mat and slumbered. The whole body flesh is like a newly born big meat mouse. This child, there is no movement at all, innocent and with the peace of mind, so that the party is very envious. However, when the people are up, with wisdom, the troubles will increase, and it is impossible to return to the innocent age and mentality of the children. As for the owner of Hongyi County, I also found a room to practice alone. Anyway, they have remedies, true water, and they can't eat or drink. More net clothes, clean the body, free from filth, you can close for a month or two after a retreat, concentrate on cultivation. This is also the advantage of the feather door, there is no medicinal herbs and symbols, in the secular, still have to cook, laundry, eat and drink lazar, very annoying, and a waste of time. The 5-star bracelet of the Sun and the Moon is now in the hands of Fang Han. Pure Yang Unlimited, Heaven and Earth Essence, wandering in the air, 100 ghosts open, drive out the haze, Yang Baokong. The starlight of the road was radiated from the bracelet and flowed into the map of Wangquan. The small mouth devours the pure Yang star force and supplements the vitality. Although you can't directly eat the bracelets, but you can absorb the pure Yang, and cultivate and consolidate the realm, you still benefit a lot. Anyway, the pure Yang star in this bracelet is endless, vast, at least the elders of the group of more than 10 stars, refining a baby. How big is the condensed star power? The general star force, which contains too many impurities, cannot be pure. Forced absorption, it is easy to explode and die, harmful to people. However, the star power in the 5-star bracelet on this day and the moon has undergone a 1,000-pronged refinement, and after the transformation of Juyang Shenshui, it has finally been practiced with no scum, pure yang only. This bracelet, the Nebula Baby lent to Fang Han to practice, let go of the stagnation of the mind. Fang Han is slightly able to use the vitality, but cannot be used to defend themselves against the enemy. Fight. The dragon's mouth absorb the pure yang star force, and its whole body becomes a faint star color, and he directly spits out the excess star power to the 10 sleeping Shira. The 10-headed Shira absorbs the star power and the whole body is more lustrous. These pure yang stars can develop their wisdom, stimulate their potential, and enable them to have enough energy without taking the medicinal herbs for many days. Fang Han also does not care how to cultivate. In short, the stronger the strength, the more he hopes to defeat Hua Tiandu. Hua Tiandu is now like a big mountain tower. Not overthrowing this mountain, I don't think there is any achievement. This is his biggest enemy at the moment and the most horrible enemy. Although this enemy, treat him as a small ant, do not mind. But he did not know that this little ant was gradually strong and had a tendency to become an elephant. I have already entered the limits of the physical body by cultivating into a golden body. This time I use the stars to refine the body and catalyze the form, so that I can enter a height again. In front of a Dan furnace, it is the furnace used by the witch Grand Ashura to make alchemy. The master of the magical mystery will naturally be alchemy. Fang Han now uses this Dan furnace to quench his body. Wearing the Sun and Moon 5-star bracelets, Fang Han took off his clothes and jumped into the Dan furnace where all of them were Huang Quanshui. They rushed to the bottom, and under the Dan furnace, they were burning, not the sun. Real fire, but 3 crystals of jade, the real fire. This is the mana flame. Take the crystal jade as the fuel of the Dan furnace, directly burning the mana. This extravagant behavior, even if the true disciple of Yuhuaman must be awkward, violent. However, Fang Han got a few hundred spar this time and made a fortune. For his own cultivation, he also refused to take care of it. As long as he could step into the mysterious secrets, he would not hesitate to burn all the spar. N-O-V-E-N.C-Om. Hey, as soon as I entered the Dan furnace, I was wrapped in the water, and Fang Han was burnt to the whole body. The flame of the spar burning was much more fierce than the fire of the sky, and all the thoughts in the mind were severely painful. Shrouded. Endless pain, drowning his spiritual will. If a woman's childbirth is the greatest pain in the world, then the pain of Fang Han is 10 times or even 100 times greater than that of a woman. This is the power of the fire of spar burning. What? Ah! Fang Han couldn't help it, and he snarled in a low voice, like an injured beast. The pale golden skin of the Jin Luo Jin was continually burned. Then he wore the Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet, and he constantly issued a star force to repair his skin. Gradually, the strength and star power in his body were completely tempered together, and the endless pain in his mind was suppressed by his life, and then turned into a breeze. Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet is like a Lingdan, and the same spirit as Jui Jindan and Yin Yang Wanshudan. It constantly supplements the strong pure vitality of Fang Han and helps him maintain his life. Repair the body while condensing his body to be more compact. The use of fire burns, strengthens the pain, forcibly changes, and enters the magical secrets of the gods. He is also very embarrassing. He stopped taking the star power and observed Fang Han's every move. He knowing how strong the pain of the French fire body is, no one can bear it. But just like this, it is worthwhile to inherit the Emperor's Tao. This time I don't help him, I will wait and see, and he already has the will of the. I will intervene again. I am afraid it is counterproductive. If there is no Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet, it takes 1 to 3 years to accumulate, but with this pure magic weapon, I am afraid there is still a chance. Yan Luo Tianzi, De Fu Lun Gang, Ghost Door, Life and Death, Resilience is like the earth, and the deep secrets are like secrets. The so-called land, Abe Senro, the door of black and white, magical. Magical, supernatural. At this time, Fang Han wholeheartedly, with the strength of the 5-star bracelet of the Sun and the Moon, refining the body, the practice method of the Luo Luo Jin body, a period of rogue out, as if from the archaic, the most long and mysterious curse secret. Every spell is a celestial octave, a method of sounding a long song, sometimes overbearing, sometimes focused, and all his spirit. In the end, all his spells were summed up in 2 words, that is, magic. He screamed at 3 sounds. The castle was shaken. Chapter 88. It finally became. Chapter 88 has finally become. What's the matter? The earthquake. The big nebula mouse, the nebula baby, climbed up because he felt a strong earthquake, and there was a shock, and he had to wake up. He had a sleepy pig, but Fang Han 3. Spiritual, the sound is too shocking, straight into the soul, even if it is a scorpion feels, to be shocked. What happened? The owner of Hongyi County also woke up from the cultivation, walked out of the room and flew to the Dan room of the castle to see what happened to Fang Han. How does Fang Han make such a big move? Crane Fairy also woke up from his sleep. The feathers of his body are now all in white gold. It is a layer of greasy jade metallic luster. The whole body looks at first glance as if platinum was cast. Even if it is a flying sword, I am afraid it is difficult to open its feathers. At the same time, the body of the whole crane has been reduced by a circle, but it is more powerful and more powerful. After it swallowed the blood of the blood, the emperor's bloodline made it change and solidified the body. After Fang Han still wants to consolidate it, he uses the 5-star bracelet of the sun and the moon to quench his body, so that he really becomes a spiritual crane. When he encounters the level of the Shira, he can fight and even win. It heard the movement, knowing that something was going to happen, and pulled away the 2 legs and went straight to the cold here. The white-haired witch, Ashura, was also alarmed. She was also quietly practicing, trying to get rid of the forgetting emotions that lingered on her heavenly gate, but she felt a wave of soul fluctuations, and her heart was a bit flustered, flying straight. The master of the magical mystery does not need any instruments, spirits, and rely on his own strong force, flying like electricity, breaking the world view of ordinary people. According to the truth, the people of the flesh are so powerful that as long as they do not possess treasures, they will not be able to defeat the masters of the mysterious secrets. You must know that Fang Han is powerful enough now, but if you don't want to help, even if you use the sound to kill the magic knife, you can't beat the witch Grand Ashura. Nebula Baby, Witch, Crane Fairy, and Hongyi County are all surrounded by Danfang. Looking at Fang Han's body wrapped in the water, the fire is burning, the stars are shining, and they are all nervous. The Nebula Baby is watching the lively Crane Fairy, the main owner of Hongyi County, is the hope of Fang Han's success, breaking through the barriers of heaven and man, and making a magical power, while the witch is the hope that Fang Han will not be repaired, otherwise she will not have a day to go. However, Fang Han's cultivation will naturally not be transferred by the will of others. He is like a person drinking water, knowing himself. In the mind, the spirit is paralyzed, and the spiritual power that seems to be crystallized is more and more concise, and the blood in the body boils to the mind, and the endless brain is mysterious. The whole is being attacked and developed. Some of the brain gullies that can't be reached by the spirit, the subtle areas, are now stuffed and nourished. The whole mind, turning over the river and overturning the sky, seems to be a giant to reopen the world. 3 loud voices, supernatural powers. Magical, magical, all the spirits and powers of Fang Han are concentrated in it. It is a cry for life and death, for the world, for the heavens and the earth, and for the most shocking soul. It is a mysterious practice for personal cultivation, the first step, and a deeper torture. A loud scream, shouting. It seems like a sledgehammer, bombarding the door of the magical powers, the magical door of the human body. There is a mana in the ages, and the heart has a magical power to reach the world. I want to swallow the sun and the moon, and the soul swims too open. Suddenly, after shouting 3 sounds, Fang Han only felt the sound of a shock, 2 earthquakes, 3 earthquakes, it seems to shake the top of Tianmen. Bang! Tianmen is wide open. In the middle of the head, a stalk of the spirit, on the top of the green, under the earth, the spirit to inherit the heavens and the earth. Outside the gods, Fang Han felt that his soul was away from the hustle and bustle, and it felt strange. At this time, the 5-star bracelet of the sun and the moon suddenly flew up, and once again exhaled the endless starlight, wrapped up the square cold, suppressed the square cold, and wanted to travel the spirit of the heavens and the earth. The infinite starlight and the combination of spirits, suddenly changed, turned into a tangible and qualitative force, and returned to Fang Han's mind. The mind suddenly changed and changed again. All the spirits were transformed into the power of a strand of scorpion. This force was born with breathing, but it existed. N-O-V-E in .c Om. When Fang Han is free to move, he feels that this is a strong force, and it is a vitality, not an invisible and inferior spirit. It is the real existence, the waves are surging, and the extinction is derived. Mana, this is the mana. My spirit is transformed into mana. The mana I have, this is the magical mystery. This is the mysterious secret. Is it really I have stepped into the mystery? Fang Han's heart roared. He felt in his mind that there seemed to be a maddening real dragon. A fierce tiger. This spirit is really a dragon, the power is boundless, twice as powerful as the strength of his body. And always listen to your own command, your own arms, your own wings, your own energy. If he guesses good, this is mana. The vast mana, only magical masters can have mana. With mana, it breaks the worldview of ordinary people and makes all kinds of incredible behaviors. The volley is vain, the air is over, the water and fire are controlled, the lightning is golden, the power is endless, and the power is boundless. It can extend life and change the body. Bang! Fang Hanjin's jump from the Dan furnace, he wants to give it a try. Is he really stepping into the magical mystery? That mana is an illusion, or a reality? What? At this time, in the eyes of the Big Ashura Witch, Crane Fairy, Hongyi County Lord, and even the Nebula Baby, they all showed a shocked look, because they saw that Fang Han did not use any force, even the volley floated around the body. A violent airflow tumbling like a gas dragon, tangling his body. And around his body, infinite air, by a magical power, condensed into a gas crane, gas snake, gas tiger, gas wolf, and so on, and another turbulence, turned into a sword weapon, seems to be able to change at any time, twist the air. Hey, the invisible force, the rotating airflow, blows the entire Dan room. Ha 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 ha. Fang Han made a maddening laughter, and the body moved, volleyed, and palms toward the castle wall, and pressed away. Suddenly, the invisible enthusiasm, condensed into a large handprint in the air, bombarded on the hard rock wall of the castle. Boom! There are 3-foot-thick granite walls, which are actually blown out by the palms. The wall fell off and collapsed. Fang Han's backhand pressed, and the air was condensed by the invisible force, and he grabbed the ground. Oh, the air flow is like a knife, and the ground is deeply dug out of the 5 fingers. Can be compared to flying swords. It finally became, magical mystery. At this moment, the magical door was opened by the Fang Han and stepped into the crucial first step of spiritual practice. From then on, it was no longer immortal. Jui Jindan, Infinite Blood Dan, Bilu Dadan, Wangquan Shengshui, Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet Pure Yang Xingli, Brave and Forge Ahead, Endure the Pain of the Oil Pan, combined, finally gathered into one, achievement supernatural power. Fang Han is no longer doubtful about himself. Chapter 89, Hen Hen Wei Shi. Chapter 89 Hen Hen Wei Shi. The Mystery Secret. Mana. It is. Finally became. Is this a mysterious secret? Mom said that I still have to work for many years. My mind grows up. I will rid the horror, temper my spirit, and my mind will be sharp and sharp. Without impurities, all kinds of horror, pain cannot shake my heart. Can I step into the mysterious secrets? Otherwise, the body is stronger, and more elixir is also awkward. Nebula Baby face wrinkled into a ball. He cultivated, it is actually a golden body. This rumor is the most painful method of Huang Quanman. To endure the pain of the oil pan. How strong is this man's endurance, spiritual will? The witch recognized. I actually stepped into the mysterious secret. It's incredible. This time the mountain river list contest, then he must be the first, get the first treasure, and then pass the assessment, you can be promoted to a true disciple. This time Yi Tianan and others it's difficult. The owner of Hongyi County thought that after Fang Han's return to Yuhuaman, many incredible eyes made him feel happy. How hard is it? Difficult to go to the sky. Fang Han is sure to resort to many magic weapons, but the biggest is his courage, will, and courage to challenge Huatian. The strength of the oil can be tolerated, the spirit of toughness, no impurities. However, the achievement of the mysterious secret does not mean that you can become a true disciple. The true disciple of Yuhuaman must be strictly tested and checked. Because it is a core disciple, I have to be careful. However, at the Shan list competition, Fang Han was able to control the crowd. The mysterious mystery, even if it is the first place in the Shan list, can't reach this height. In fact, even the inner door disciple who is the first in the Shan list does not dare to challenge Huatian. For dignity, offended the first true disciple. The mountain river list competition, the mastery of technology, the acquisition of treasures, and then the attention of the sects, the investigation of the origin, promoted to the true disciple, high weight, self-reliance, this is already a nailing thing. With the relationship of Fang Qingshe, there is no problem in the birth of Fang Han. Unless it is exposed by Huang Quantu, it will be promoted to a true disciple without any problems. Even if Huang Quantu is exposed, it can be said that it is his own adventure. It seems that my eyes have not seen the wrong person. That Liu Kang's eyes are shallow, in order to fly a sword, and to abandon Fang Han, this friend is really short-sighted and short-sighted. The heart of Hongyi County is secretly. Fashion is coming. Fang Han saw the surprised faces of the people around him, knowing that he was finally done. With a handle, the vestment is automatically driven by the mana and is worn on his body. When he was cooked, he was naked. Bang! The airflow is taken away, returning to the mind, the white tiger is in the hole, and the Qinglong enters the abyss. Fang Han's feet stepped on the ground and his hand waved. 4 inner disciples were forced out by Huang Quan's figure, and they were still awake. Now Fang Han stepped into the mysterious secret. It is time to convince the four. After being arrested by Fang Han, the four inner disciples were suppressed and stunned, so it was impossible to know the secrets of Huang Quantu, and Fang Feng would not let them know after they brought them up. This secret. Knowing that Fang Han has Huang Quantu, only the big Ashura witch. However, she was forgotten. Even if she wanted to say it, she couldn't say it. If she wanted to move, she would become idiot. The owner of Hongyi County only knows that Fang Han has a legendary Taoist device. He does not know that it is the magical sacred object of Wangquan. And the crane fairy does not know, no matter what. Nebula baby, treasures have seen too much, and it seems that they don't care about this, thinking that Fang Han has a powerful magic weapon. These things, leaking and not leaking, Fang Han or in the heart, will never reveal their own secrets. The higher the mana, the more cautious his heart is, and the foolproof. A finger, bang 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 bang, 4 crisp waves of air rang, conveyed to the body of 4 inner disciples. The 4 disciples vibrated and gradually woke up. Fang Han used the power to inspire their spirit. Now that Shentong is a beginner, how to use mana, he is still not skilled, and practice more. Enhance the mana, become more and more ambitious, more and more flexible, and then adjust to the shackles, how to save the next cultivation. You must know that he is now a blank for the next step in the realm of the magical realm. Because after the realm of magical power, it is very different from the cultivation of the physical body. How to consolidate the infuriating, how to refine the infuriating atmosphere, and how to coordinate the yin and yang, there must be a series of exercises. No vel b in .c om. This, he did not, he could not create it. Either he taught him or he became a true disciple, and Yu Huaman personally taught it. And provide a variety of caves, condensed instinct. This is not an urgent matter for other masters who have cultivated into the mysterious secrets. However, for Fang Han, the time is only 10 years. If you want to catch up with Hua Tiandu, you have to race against time, and you can't waste it for a moment. What is this place? Fang Han, you are bold, actually stunned us and imprisoned us. This made a door rule. I will go to the elders to sue you. Here is the bottom. You brought us to the place where the devil lives. You really collude with the devil. You are a spy. Haha, Fang Han, you dare not kill us. The Mountain River List competition will start in a few months. When you want to count the number of people, we will lose a few of them. Yi Shixi will definitely tell the elders that Fang Qingshe can't protect them. You. Let's get acquainted, let's put us away. Otherwise we will tell you, you can't blame. The 4 inner disciples woke up and were very clever. In the blink of an eye, they saw the square cold sitting on the chair, and they observed the surroundings and knew that it was underground. Internal disciple, which one is not an idiot? In the face of the crisis, there is still a lot of courage to change color. Otherwise, you can't be an inner disciple. Sure enough, Yi Nanshan. Command you to monitor me. This thing that is looking for death is really impatient. In the Shan list competition, I let him not die. Fang Xiao, you said that I colluded with the magic door. Now that you are optimistic, this is the son of the stars and stars. He was under siege by the great Ashura. I rescued him. Do you say that I am colluding with the devil? Fang Han pointed at the nebula baby. The names of the stars and stars are enough to shock these disciples. You want to deal with Master Yi, that is impossible. He is amazing, how can you imagine? Cried an inside disciple. Oh, did he make a magical mystery? Fang Han's eyes flashed, and he took a remote control shot. Oh, the air surges, and there is a clear palm print on the ground, half a foot thick. Ground vibration. Chapter 90, Lady of the Star. Chapter 90 Million Rupees Star Lord. The squeaking, giggling sounds in the throats of the 4 inner disciples were like a chicken being pinched in the throat and unable to speak. Originally, for the disciples who were deep in the feathering door, there was no suffocating thing at all, but now they are really surprised. God, Tong, me, Jing, a well-trained, physically strong inner-armed disciple barely calmed his mind, and his voice was intermittent. He looked at Fang Han and looked at his hand-to-hand, a huge palm print on the ground. This kind of decisiveness, this random movement, is definitely not caused by the instrument, nor is it caused by the spirit. It's your own mana, the real power. The disciples inside the door of Yuhuaman are very sharp. They are not the kind of earthen buns that don't know the goods. What's more, what they have pursued throughout their lives is the magical mystery. Why don't you know? Every year, there are also many true disciples of the mysterious secrets who practice mana in front of the disciples, and the inner disciples must observe them carefully. Impossible. Impossible. Wonderful. How difficult is it? How can you be promoted to this point? Step into the sky, step into the sky. The 4 inner disciples were screaming, not their gaffe, but their lifelong pursuit, which was actually reached by an enemy, and their nerves almost collapsed. Hey, nothing, I dare to challenge Huishendu. Fang Han used his handcuffs to slap on the chair. This time, he did not use the force, but the huge force on the still shot the chair, and the sudden sound of the 4 inner disciples was shocked. The 4 inner door disciples immediately remembered that Fang Han was a character who challenged Hua Tiandu. Although everyone felt that he was ridiculous, he did not do anything about it, but when he was promoted to the mysterious secret, he was afraid that he would not think so. Although it is said that Fang Han has cultivated to the mysterious secrets, the distance from Hua Tiandu is still a different day. But after all, it has broken through the barriers of heaven and humanity, stepping into the sky, becoming the envy of countless people, and its status has risen sharply. And he seems to have another relationship. 4 inner disciples looked at the nebula baby, the son of the stars of the stars. Actually, it has a close relationship with Fang Han. It seems that the other party has a deep dependence and dares to challenge Hua Tiandu. It is not arrogant. For the first time, 4 inner door disciples, the other side has a deep fear, the master of the magical powers they can only look up to, and never be offended. Even Yi Nanshan knows that Fang Han has stepped into the mysterious secrets, and he is afraid that he will regret it and regret the original provocation. The 4 disciples, the breath is soft, even if they complain, the elders of the martial art will not pay attention to it. Who is the most important disciple and inner disciple of the mysterious secret? Pigs can be distinguished. Although they are also masters of the death change realm, the body is 10 heavy, and it is only a step away from the mysterious secret. But everyone knows how far away this step is, and it is almost impossible to achieve. Fang Han brother, how are you going to dispose of us? The 4 inner disciples were downcast. Nature is for my use, to investigate the news of Yi Nanshan. I heard that behind Yi Nanshan is Wan Luofeng, Master Wan Luo. You have heard all the news and quietly reported to me. Understand, do double spies. On the surface, you are Yi Nanshan's people, but in fact, they are my people. Fang Han gave these 4 people a pointing road. Zongtiandu, Dongling Temple, Xilan Blue, North Yaoguang, Nanwan Luo. These 5 true disciples, occupying one side, are derived from the internal and external disciples, and the huge network of people is intertwined into a net. Fang Han has already got news from the owner of Hongyi County. Yi Nanshan is probably the person of Nanwan Luo. But there is nothing that can't be. Fang Hanjian pointed out, there is only one way to go. Of course, the benefits are also indispensable to you. These 4 blast swords are the ones that I have killed the white hair flying, and the first reward is given to you. Do you know? Ah. I know, we dare not violate the meaning of the brother. The 4 disciples took over the magic knife and looked at each other. They didn't know what to exchange. Of course, I will not trust you completely. I have to use a little bit to control it. Fang Han's fingers trembled, and 4 yellow light flew into the 4-person heavenly gate. This is a vicious supernatural power. As long as I am worried, I want to sell me, I am thinking of it, this magical power will turn you into an idiot. If you do not believe, even if you can try it. This thing, the elders cannot find my head. This is naturally a forgetting emotion. It is planted in the minds of several people. Don't dare to sell my brother. The 4 men shivered, knowing that it was not good, and there was no strange thought in the heart. Okay. Go back and concentrate on another house and practice on your own. I will bring you back to the ground and return to the feather door. Fang Zhaolin, arrange them to live in another room. It is good. The witch's eyes flashed, and now Fang Han has cultivated into the mysterious secret, and she has no strange thoughts. Everything is ready. In the following time, Fang Han still stayed in the underground castle, familiar with the mana, running the magical powers, and at the same time the sound-killing magic knife. Forced to sacrifice a lot, the power is greater, it is not easy to be taken away. Hey, you said that I am now, what kind of magical cultivation? What is the magical power of Wangquanmen, similar to the kind of instant killing? Fang Han has been obsessed with instant killing. This kind of supernatural power, the pursuit of speed, killing and killing, will not drag the water, in line with his character. What kind of supernatural powers you are not suitable for cultivation now? Only thicken your own mana. Because before the 5th heaven and earth, you must only cultivate a kind of supernatural powers. Otherwise, the stranger and the mana conflict will be enough to blow you into a broiler chicken. When you become a disciple of Yuhuaman and learn his magical powers, you will not be suspected. When you reach the heavens and humans, I will teach you the magical power of Wangquanman, and then let you concise the most amazing in the world. The supernatural power of the gods. When you get there, you can put this Wangquan river into the real mana, and you will not be able to overcome it. It turned out that this way, I learned the magical power of Huang Quanman. I can't learn the magical power of the feather door, the infuriating conflict. Then I can only strengthen the mana as much as possible, and then become a true disciple. Fang Han clearly understands all the clues. Fang Zhaolin, come over. The witch heard the greeting from Fang Han and quickly came over. N-O-V-E in.C Om. How far is it from your veins? There are other veins. What are the masters? Do you want to play other veins? That's not enough. This is likely to alarm me to the devil's home, the veteran of the great Ashura, the mana of the veteran, 100 times deeper than me. The witch seems to know the party. The thought of cold, immediately horrified. Forget it, be careful to make the ship a million years. There is no need to take risks now. Fang Han's eyes flashed, dispelling the idea of killing other veins. Then we will go back to the feathers to prepare for the mountain river list competition. The first treasure, it's none of me. What about the nebula baby? Asked the owner of Hongyi County. He thought of playing, and it was not good if something went wrong. Then we sent him back to the Star Gate. Fang Han thought about it, and it was really difficult. I don't want to go back, I don't want to go back. Nebula baby yelled, but then his 5-day bracelet of the sun and the moon suddenly emitted a starlight, a flash of light, and a ticking voice. No, my mother came to me. The nebula baby was shocked. Chapter 91, Return to the Sect. Chapter 91 Returns to the martial art. Your mother, isn't that the Lady of the Star? Fang Hanyi, he was only alert at this time. Fortunately, he did not lie to the nebula baby's bracelet, otherwise it would be successful. The other parents' chased it, only fear of the door the teachings can't stand, and they are unlucky. The same 10 sects of Shandao, they lie to a child's magic weapon, spread out the feathers of the door to teach the supreme skin cannot hang, can definitely punish themselves, even on the spot to kill or not necessarily. Yuhuaman teaches Supreme to kill himself, and it is easier to kill the ants than to kill them. Even if the resurrection of Huang Quan, I am afraid I can't stop it. Fairy Supreme generally has only one Taoist. And the Emperor of the Great Gate, the wives are in groups, thousands. There are countless sons and daughters. Since it is the mother of the nebula baby, it must be the Lady of the Star, and the heart of Fang Han is also tight. He has never seen such a big man. I am afraid that Huang Quan is seen through. It doesn't matter, you are now stepping into the mysterious mystery, using the refining Wangquan map, and I am deeply hidden. As long as it is not a master of the longevity secret, I will find a clue. If you don't step into the magical mystery, it is really dangerous. I felt the uneasiness of Fang Han, so I said, N-O-V-E in.C Om. Just between this conversation, the nebula baby looked around for a place to hide, and almost hurriedly cried, but the situation suddenly changed. A starlight, falling from the sky, shot into the underground world and entered the castle. Then, among the stars, a figure of a woman appeared. This woman, 28 years old, wearing a star-studded gown, looks like a god, exudes a noble, pure fairy, this kind of scent, a heart-lifting rise to a reverence. Baby, how are you naughty again? This time when I was writing my alchemy, I ran out and went to such a dangerous place as the ground. As soon as this woman appeared, her eyes locked the nebula baby. Nebula baby smirked. The body slid and swayed and flew to the woman's side, unable to control herself at all, and the 5-star bracelet of that day fell into the woman's hand. Ah, incarnation outside. When Fang Han looked at it, he knew that this woman was not a body, but an incarnation of the body like a demon god. After this shock, Fang Han refused to lose the number of rituals and sang a fat slogan, the younger generation meets the Lady of the Star. Well, Shintong's secret, Shandao disciple. It turned out to be a disciple of Yuhuaman. At this time, Mrs. Star saw the Fang Han body, and at a glance, he saw that Fang Han was the master of the mysterious secret, and then smiled. How do you see that this is my incarnation? The younger generation has seen the incarnation of the demon ***** in the underground, so it is speculated that this is the incarnation of the Lady of the Star. Fang Han put gold on his face. Well, have you seen the demon god, actually still alive? It is a miracle. When did the emergence of a real disciple of the feathering door? The reason why the Lady of the Star knew that Fang Han was a feather disciple because he was wearing a vestment. The younger generation went with the Shui Shui sister. Fang Qingxie. Well, it's not bad. She is a fellow practitioner of the same demon, and there is a help from the devil. The demon ***** will not offend the congenital emperor. Mrs. Star took the baby's ass. Mom, this time thanks to Fang Han brother to save me, or else I will be eaten by the big Ashura. Nebula baby said. What happened? The Lady of the Star was cold, sweeping around, and finally stared at the witch, Great Ashura. Madam, I have already surrendered this big Ashura. She is now my sister. Fang Han quickly said. You have lowered the big Ashura. Mrs. Star looked at Fang Han again. You woman has a true disciple like you, but it is really talented. Not bad, your mana is arrogant, but it is not yet concise. But it is also a matter of time. This time you save the baby, I can't be embarrassed, otherwise I will be jokes by the feathering door. Here is a star-studded Juden that I have just refining, which can make your mana more concentrated and cultivate later. Get more with less. Between the words, Fang Han suddenly had a palm-sized crystal stone. The crystal stone is sealed with a kind of dragon, the size of the longan, the bright color and bright yellow. Among them, there are countless stars and swirls rotating, and what is being absorbed at any moment. At first glance, it is the top quality, and you can't ask for it. However, Fang Han was a little hesitant but said, there is nothing to save the baby, I also came to the bottom of the ground. The Nebula baby and I saw the fate, I also borrowed his Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet practice. Ladies' medicine, the younger generation does not dare to bear. I have sent out the things that I have to take back. But you are very honest. I rarely see honest people like you. You can be my baby's friend. I hope that you will come to the group of fairy tales at the 10th gate. Shine, I remember you. After the Lord's wife finished speaking, the body moved, the starlight recovered, and disappeared in a blink of an eye. It was impossible to wonder how she left. This lady is unfathomable, but I have never heard of such a person in the past. It seems to be a rising star in recent thousands of years. Fortunately, she came with an incarnation, lack of strength, lack of insight, or Huang Quantu does not show stuffing. I am afraid that the fortune symbol of this great Ashura witch will also be exposed. But this star-shaped Judenden is indeed an amazing elixir. It is true that you can increase your mana. You are now more powerful than Jinshitai. Taking this Dan, it is more useful for your future cultivation. The heart of the victim is indispensable, and the heart of the person is indispensable. I can't believe the Lady of the Star. You take this Dan and study it, so that there is nothing inside, and you have a plan. Fang Han bite the teeth. You are getting more and more devilish style, yes, that's it. Fang Han, now the baby is gone, will we go back immediately? Hongyi County asked again. I originally wanted to kill a few white hairs, and slashed a few veins. The refining medicinal herbs were stored for emergency use. But now it seems that the danger is extremely high. Of course we have to go back first. But I cultivated to the magical mystery. No one is allowed to disclose it, lest those people be prepared. When I wait for the summit, I will let them know what is called a blockbuster. Fang Han had a password ban. I have practiced for more than 10 days and I have seen the end of the month. When I heard the elders open the altar every month, it was time to come. Fang Han collected the good things, took the big Ashura witch, flew out of the seams, flew back all the way, and turned to the outside of Yuhuaman. Put 4 inner disciples quietly and let them go under cover. At this time, the mountains were feathered, and a high mountain in the south rose to the clouds. This is Wan Luofang. Yi Shishang, is this Wan Luofang? Let's see Wan Luo's brother. Fang Qingwei looked at the high mountain and meditated. Not bad, Yi Nanshan said. Mandeo brothers are vast, and you should be careful when you meet, don't anger his taboos. I know this. Right, the person you sent, inquired about the news of the cold, why haven't you returned yet? Chapter 92, Majestic Mana. Chapter 92, The Power of Mana. The 4 inner disciples I sent are very proper people. They carry all kinds of hidden tactics, and the possibility of being discovered is very small, and even if they are discovered, then Fang Han dare to attack them and harm them. But it is a felony. If you succumb to martial arts, you will be detained for life. Perhaps it is Fang Han who went to the bottom of the ground. The paper cranes passed the news and asked what the problem was. This is not very urgent. When Yi Nanshan spoke to Fang Qingwei, he underestimated himself, but his heart was very vigilant and secretly calculated the occurrence of various things. But at this moment, suddenly 4 paper cranes danced and flew from a distance, spinning around him. There is news. Yi Nanshan was so happy that he took a handful of tricks. These paper cranes came down and they started to be a letter full of words. Fang Qingwei came over to watch it. I saw that the words written in it were full of words. They all talked about the various things that the Syrian side encountered after the cultivation of the underground. After encountering the Yaksha army, they fled and escaped, and then they were chased by Shira. Killing, etc. A series of encounters are vividly written and dripping. Haha, look at it, Fang Han is like this. Lost the 7 gourds, and sure enough, there is no special card. This time, the mountain river list contest, what do you want me to do with him? Is it abolish the whole body martial arts? Or broken hands broken feet? After reading the film, Yi Nanshan laughed and was very comfortable. I usually suffer the same door and hurt the same limbs. I only have to pay a heavy punishment. Only the Shan list contest, mutual competition does not prohibit disability and death. Fang Qingwei is cold and cold, she is also very familiar with the rules. I don't want his life. Just want you to abolish his martial arts, let him still be a slave. I will let him know what is called life is not as good as death. Bold slaves, slaves to bully, lawless, our family is dealing with this slave as direct steamed in a steamer. Good, let's meet Wan Luo's brother. The 2 men fell on Wan Luofeng. Although this Wan Luofeng is not as magnificent as the Tiandu Peak, it is also majestic, a dragon-like stone step, towering into the clouds, directly leading to countless palaces on the top of the mountain. When the time falls into the winter, the yellow leaves are drifting, and there is a scene of the autumn, but the trees on the Wanluo Peak are lush, the haze is everywhere, the waterfalls are flowing, the cranes are shivering, the white deer are Ganoderma, the apes are holding the peaches, and one is the sight of the fairyland. It is rumored that on Wanluofeng, every lingmu is watered with medicinal herbs. Therefore, the spirit is full and life is not thankful, and Wan Luo's brother is really big. Fang Qingwei looked at the trees of a plant, and Shen Jun stood upright, exuding a strong grass and gas, could not help but be surprised. That is of course, the panacea that ordinary disciples dream of, for the brothers of Wanluo, is only the ordinary medicine of watering flowers, but cultivation on Wanluofeng is many times better than cultivation in other places. Yi Nanshan, the words express the wealth of the true disciple of Wan Luo, and the Tao is boundless. Wan Luofeng towering into the sky, ordinary people have to climb along the steps, it will take days and nights, exhausted to get to the top of the mountain, but Yi Nanshan, Feng Qingwei are martial arts high-powered, strong tyrannical master, climbing does not cost anything power, after an hour, has entered the misty peak of Wanluo. A majestic palace appeared in front of you. Vero Palace. This is the palace of the Nanwan Luo, practiced by one of the 5 true disciples. In front of the Vero Palace, there is a huge square, which is paved with precious sea blue stones. It is like a mirror and resembles iron. The color of the sea blue, at first glance, looks like the waves of the sea, the fresh water is blowing in the face, there is a full circle of 10 miles, people standing on the square, very small. This square is the brother of Wan Luo who used the power of to flatten the mountain peaks, and to drive the ghosts and gods, to send the strong devils, and to transport the blue stone from the distance. Yi Nanshan introduced. It is really boundless, when I can reach this realm, drive the heavens and the earth, the decree, the point of the spirits. Fang Qingwei shook his fist. Drive, drive, drive. Just then, a horseshoe sound came from the square and the 2 looked at it. I saw the center of the square, standing many inner doors, outside disciples, and these disciples, each holding a high horse. These high-headed horses, the whole body is a bright yellow color, the mane is like gold, at first glance, it looks like gold casting. The airflow from the mouth is as fierce as a dragon, and it is doubtful that it is a dragon species. This is too much squatting, the mysterious yellow horse of the great Zan Empire. It is the man who is testing his own mana. Yi Nanshan looked at it immediately. Fang Qingwei looked at the past and saw the foreign disciples, the inner disciples, and led the Zan Huang Ma, 7 or 80. Everyone rode on the horse, suddenly slammed and whipped the horse. Bang! These 70 or 80 black horses rushed up. The iron rides on the ground vibrates and rolls like a thunder, and the impact is unparalleled. However, at this time, a tall young Taoist, watching these sturdy yellow horses. 5 fingers open, emptiness. Hey, hey, the huge airflow, like an invisible rope, actually put the 70 or 80 heads of the black horse. One drop, Let these horses, how to run wild, long scorpion, are dead by the mana. Can't go half a step. Inverted. As he burst into the air, the 78 heads of Zan Huang Ma were suddenly overturned. People turn their heads. The emptiness of the emptiness. Take in 80 horses running wild. This Taoist mana is really tyrannical. This Zan Huang Ma is the largest empire in the world, the horse of the Great Zan Empire. The Great Zan Empire, with a population of more than 10 billion people, respects the door. Many empires in the world are vaguely based on the laws, currency, and weights of this empire. The coins of the Great Zan Empire are universal. And this mysterious yellow horse, 3,000 miles a day. The heavy cavalry impacted and the walls were able to rush. Any dynasty, the torture of the 5 major corps, is based on this mysterious yellow horse. At the same time, the master of the magical mystery, also use the emptiness of the emptiness, take the horse, to test their own tyrannical degree. My current strength, physical strength, can only withstand the power of 13 horses rushing and pulling. This brother is the person who was promoted to a true disciple in the previous year. He retired for 2 years, enhanced mana, and now is the mysterious secret. A heavy one, I was able to take the 9th and 11 heads of the Zan Huang Lai Ma by the force. It is so much stronger than me. The mysterious mystery is really amazing. Yi Nanshan swayed, and he was more eager for the mysterious secrets. As soon as you step into the mysterious world, power is definitely not as simple as multiplying growth. N-O-V-E in .c ohm. Well, Yi Shidi is coming. Brother Wan Luo is waiting for you in the Dan room. After the Taoist priest grabbed the 81-headed Xuanwang running horse, the meaning was still unfinished. In a blink of an eye, I saw Yi Nanshan and Fang Qingwei. The skills of the brothers and sisters are boundless. Yi Nanshan quickly said, the brothers of Kang have stood on their own peaks. How come to Wan Luofeng today? This is a meager mana, why do you hang your teeth? Brother Wan Luo can flip me 100. One of the sacred medicinal herbs that I came to here to help strengthen the mana. I will be tempted in stepping into the magical power. The second is to rebuild the real world. The more powerful the mana, the better. It is these disciples who want to see how powerful my mana is. So they bring out these black horses. Let me take the volley. Kang brother looked at Fang Qingwei, you are the sister of Qingshui's sister. I heard that Shuishui's sister went to Shaoshanji to practice, and when she came out later, she had to wait for her to mention. Kang brother, I will tell my sister. Fang Qingwei quickly said, she naturally knows what to say at this time. Okay, let's go in. Yi Nanshan and Fang Qingwei entered the Vero Palace. In Nei Xian Yuan, among his own Danfang, Fang Han is running mana. A powerful mana, rotating around, driving the airflow, forming an invisible dragon tiger, galloping, powerful, and 4 inner disciples were shocked. Although these 4 inner disciples have the power to pull 7 or 8 horses, Fang Fang is also a finger to eliminate one. Yes, your ability to make up a lie is very good. Just continue to lie to Yi Nanshan and go out. Fang Han stopped running mana and waved his hand. Yes, Fang Shishang, we will give Yi Nanshan's news to the brothers in time. At this moment, he and Fang Qingwei went to Wan Luofeng. The 4 inner disciples quickly hid the figure and quietly went out. Hey, I really want to check, how powerful is the mana now? Can you pull a few horses? Fang Handao. You have cultivated the golden body of the Jurassic, and the mana is thick. It is much deeper than the strong one who has stepped into the magical powers of the gods. You can take the Xuanwang Lima with more than 90 heads of the great mysterious empire. I thought about it for a while, I just checked the star-studded Megalodon, but there is nothing wrong with it. You can take it with confidence. This is the holy medicine of the Star's Gate. After taking it, you can raise your mana to the point where there is 100 horsepower. There are still 2 months away from the Shan list competition. You will concise the mana and consolidate it. The more heavier the better, the more the ship will be overturned. I won't take it lightly. Some of the people on the mountain and river list are not idle people. They have powerful magic weapons and even treasures. Yi Nanshan went to Wan Luofeng, but I was afraid to borrow magic weapons. Fang Hengsen sneered. After he came back from the ground, he retired and practiced mana, trying to thicken and strengthen the mana in the body and lay a good foundation for himself. How strong is Huatian's mana? He suddenly asked. It is immeasurable. It can't be measured by the power of Xuanwang Ma. This person can move mountains and reclamation. Panwu vigorously and powerfully dominates with mana. If you want to calculate, I am afraid that you are thousands of times, even tens of thousands of times. Not only, the master of the longevity secret can even take a big river of water and take a short shot. Take Longyuan River, Huang Quan, the emperor, you can make this long river, without a drop of water, move the water to going somewhere else. This mana is not something that people can imagine. I seem to be afraid of the confidence of Fang Han. But the two men fight, although the mana is a big factor, but it is not complete. The cultivation of the magical mystery, it is many times more difficult than the physical condition. Every time you raise a layer, you have to pay a huge price. Don't look at Fang Qingshui's cultivation so fast, she has a huge adventure. She has a big secret. So strong, Fang Han knows that he has a long way to go. Chapter 93. Mountain River List begins. Chapter 93 begins the Mountain River List. In the next 2 months, Fang Han performed very low-key. In addition to the last 3 days of each month, I went to the transmission school to listen to the predecessors of the martial arts. It was all over the day in my own Dongfu Danfang. I would never talk to any disciple, nor provoke any things, honestly like a little lamb. Although the elders of the martial arts said that they are the various methods of physical cultivation, they are not used for Fang Han's current cultivation, but he still listens very seriously. He knows that he is stepping into the mysterious secrets, relying on the power of the Sun and Moon 5 Stars bracelet. If there is no such a pure magic weapon, he has to step into the mysterious secret, at least 1 year later. Therefore, his foundation is not so stable, and he has little knowledge of how the spirit is transformed into mana. However, these days of listening to the elders of the martial arts have gradually become clear. The spirit, the mana, and so on, how to practice concretely, it is clear, and all understand. He benefited from the lectures. He did not reveal his strength during this period. He is waiting for the sensation in the Mountain River List competition. No Sound is already a blockbuster. The big Ashura white-haired witch also stayed in her house all day, helping him to practice various musical instruments, various medicinal herbs. The master of the magical mystery has the mana, and you can begin to refine the alchemy and sacrifice the instruments. For example, Hidden Character, Dirty Wind, Jin Rufu, Shenzhen, Golden Steel, Exorcism, and so on, a series of practical instruments. Also able to refine the Jiyu Dan, Jingyuan Dan. Of course, this requires a lot of elixir, materials. However, the great Ashura witch in the underground castle, in addition to storing the crystal, also stored a lot of underground medicine, or enough to sacrifice the instrument, the spirit of the Dan. Fang Han himself has to cultivate, so let the witch go to work hard. Anyway, Yan tempted the witch, saying that as long as the witch showed enough loyalty, he would teach the witch a series of supreme magical powers of Huangquanmen. Huangquanmen, the first martial art of the past. Even the congenital magic gates can't match, and all kinds of magical powers are different. As soon as the witch heard it, she promised to work hard, because this is a rare opportunity. In the 2 or 3 months, Fang Han practiced very well. Every day, he practiced mana and then jumped into the Dan furnace. He used the flame of crystal jade to boil the yellow water and wash his body. After cultivating to the spiritual mystery, Tianmen opened wide, the mind was clearer, and various potentials were fully developed. His golden body also began to progress, and the golden light on the skin was not practiced and completely converged. As long as it doesn't work, it's no different from ordinary people, but when it's exercise, the body is in a tight collapse, and the golden light is flowing, and the swords and guns are inaccessible. After possessing mana, the strength of the Jurassic body has completely exceeded the scales of the Shira. The owner of Hongyi County has already stepped into the realm of the physical transformation of the flesh. Every day, he practiced quietly, occasionally quietly coming to the place where Fang Han lived, and discussing with the witch the refinement of the charm, the thing of the spirit. The strange thing is that the witch talks to her. Hexianzi began to cultivate now, and Fang Han taught all the spiritual cultivation techniques he learned from the preaching elders, such as mixing the caves, and the heavens and the earth. In the month of the underground castle, it began to change, and with the help of the Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet, refining body, now it has become more powerful. November LBJNN. A few days ago, Fang Han took a crane ferry to the outside of the mountain, looking for more than 100 years of Dawang snake, liner refining the Pai Dan, the result of a group of poisonous snakes tens of thousands. He was about to kill by force, but the crane ferry sounded for 9 days, and the thousands of snakes immediately all softened and numb, softened to the ground and lost their fighting power. This is the crane asterisk 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 has an extremely powerful spirit, can shake the thinking of the group of snakes, and even can emit all kinds of illusions, confuse ordinary people. This kind of realm can already be called a demon. As long as you go further, step into the mysterious secrets, after a long period of true gas refining, the crane fairy can even take off the plumage and slowly change the adult. However, this is a tough thing. Animals are more difficult than human beings to cultivate, and they need to be spotted to help people with supernatural powers. In the past 2 months, everyone around Fang Han is constantly making progress. The days away from the Shan list competition are getting closer. On this day, the weather suddenly turned cold, and the north wind blew in the night, and the snow fell in the sky, and it was already in the cold winter. For the 4-season climate change, the Yushan martial art of the Yuha mountain Yuhuaman is no exception. Although there are high-profile people who can change the climate, there is no need to waste mana. Great snow. Fang Han walked in his yard, and the snow was already 3 feet thick, stepping on it. The coldness of the air hits people, and the taste of ice and snow breaks into the lungs, which gives people a sense of bath and snow spirit. A few days ago, it was the Shan list competition. I saw that the inner disciples were nervous. You should also swallow the star-fighting Juden. He urged, this remedy, I am in the holy water of Wangquan. Soaked for a month, what spiritual branding is eliminated? Only pure medicine is left. Okay. Fang Han returned to Danfang and took out the star-fighting Fat Dan. He opened the sealed crystal and took out the medicinal herbs, but did not swallow it, but wrapped it in a mana. Bang! As soon as this medicinal herb touched the mana of Fang Han, it suddenly changed. A huge explosion occurred, turning into countless star whirlpools, wrapping the square cold in it. Good drug strength. Too much tyrants, the average person cannot afford. But it is not as gentle as the Jingxi Jindan. Fang Han felt the characteristics of this drug. God changed his master to eat this medicinal medicine, and immediately smashed and died. He sat down on his knees, forcing his mana and swallowing his potency. An hour has passed, 2 hours have passed, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Numerous star whirlpools, gradually revolving around his mana, and then merged into the mana, became a pure life, and Fang Han felt that there seemed to be more whirlpools in his mana. A turbine, vortex, strong and powerful. The mana is tempered more tightly and firmly. Surging. I don't know how long it has been. Suddenly Fang Han opened his eyes, the crystal light shone, and stood up fiercely. The whole person was like a mountain. Sure enough, this star-shaped Juden Dan is a top-grade product. My current mana is afraid to be able to pull 100 horses. Horsepower. When, suddenly a burst of bells came. Oops, the Red Yi County Lord and the Witch came in. Fang Han, this is the beginning of the Shan list competition, and the bells of the inner disciples are called. You have closed for 3 days and 3 nights. Yes, I have been closed for so long. Fang Hanyi then said, let's go, Fang Zhaolin, you enter the Wangquan map, don't show up. When I am promoted to a true disciple, I have identity. It's not a rare thing for a true disciple to have a strong mana and to accept a big ashura for himself. Between talking, Fang Han stepped out. The Mountain River List competition finally began. Chapter 94, Tit for Tat. Chapter 94, asterisk 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 for tat. In the snow of the sky, the bells kept ringing. N-O-V-E-L-B-J-N.C. Om. This bell is different from the last, heaven and earth alarm. It is not the sound of the Yuha temple, but it is conveyed from the Shanhaiyuan. It is a melodious, soothing call for many inner disciples and outside disciples. Although the foreigner disciples did not qualify for the Shan list competition, they could watch and try to improve their self-cultivation and various fighting methods and practical experience. One by one disciples, rushing to the Shanhaiyuan, in the middle of the bell, where is the fighting ground of the competition, high-hanging the Mountain River List. I heard that this time to reorder the Mountain River List, the sects are quite rich. I have prepared a treasure. There are many powerful spirits, rumors, and rewards of Yin Yang Wan Shodan. This is compared with last year's Mountain River. The rewards of the list are a lot of times. I don't know who will get it this time. In the past few years, the sects of the 10,000 gates of the Immortals have been convinced that there are a few masters of the mysterious secrets among the disciples. Of course, they will not be worthy of the achievements of the qualified disciples. Face. This time, the original Zhang Kong is afraid that he can't keep the 10th place. His silver snake sword is lost. Some time ago, he was beaten by Fang Han. His face was thrown away. This time the cold, I am afraid I will go up the mountain river list. His strength is very good. Hey, Shangshan River list, I am afraid that my life can't be saved. This person is arrogant and dares to smash the Wat Tiandu brothers. Many people on the Shan list are admirers of the Chinese brothers, will this time let him go. Not to mention, Yi Nanshan's brother had long wanted to deal with him, and let him say that he would look good. You will not know the strength of Yi's brother. Well, the strength of Yi's brother is terrible. I don't know if someone will be promoted to the mysterious secrets in the Shan list competition. In the last few contests, there were disciples who broke through the scene and stepped into the mysterious secrets and shocked the audience. It shouldn't be, the magical secrets are not the same, and one step goes to heaven. Dragon Sister may not be impossible. Ah, Dragon Sister, she is the first in the 3-year Shan list. Many outside disciples are talking about the inner disciples. Fang Han is caught in the crowd, and there is no joy or sadness in his heart. It seems that the ice and snow are pure and cold. He wore an ordinary water-fired robe, empty-handed, and did not bring anything. His original, sound-killing knife, was a superior spirit, but it was powerful, but it was lent to the Hongyi County Lord. Although the Red Yi County Lord has a real blue sword, he can't see it. However, this accent-killing knife is even more sturdy than the real blue sword. The red-eyed master has definitely used it to shine in the big game. As the raging crowd entered the courtyard of the mountain river, Fang Han sat down to find his place. I saw a lot of downfalls in the entire mountain river courtyard. Needless to say, it is definitely a test for many inner disciples. In the middle of the mountain river courtyard, there is a huge yellow list, the big gold characters, mountain river list. Above the Xiaoguang Wandao, Reichi 1000, exudes a powerful mana, do not know whether it is a spirit or a treasure. There are 10 names on the Shan list. Fang Han he saw Yi Nanshan in the 3rd place. The 1st place is a woman named Long, called Long Yao. Seeing this woman named Long, he suddenly thought that he had just entered the inner court and paid the Shira spur when he met the yellow girl. Is it right, she is the first in the mountain? Think of the yellow woman, easily pick up more than 100 pounds of Shira spurs, easier than holding chopsticks. I know that this woman is unfathomable. Fang Han received his heart and looked at the bottom of the mountain river list. It was Zhang's big chair, sitting on a lot of sectarian elders, and some real disciples, all talking to each other, and the eyes of many disciples seemed to be in the head, pointing to the mountains. Fang Han even saw the indigo master, but Wat Tiandu was not present. About an hour later, the entire Shan courtyard was full of disciples inside and outside, one circle, each occupying its place. It is not crowded. Shanhaiyuan is very large and can be said to be the largest building in Yuhuamen. How many people can accommodate it? The bell suddenly stopped, the afterglow lingering, with the strength of calming people, the whole mountain river courtyard was suddenly quiet, the birds were silent and the needles could be heard. An elder stood up and shut his eyes. Every disciple felt that he was staring at himself. He did not dare to look at the elder's eyes. On this hand, he showed that this elder is definitely a master of the mysterious secret. The mountain river list is more skillful. It is the rule that I set up under the door of the door. I have selected excellent disciples to train. In the contest, you must show your true skills and not behave. This sect has a generous reward and rewards. Disciples, whether you are in the top 10, as long as you perform well, have enough perseverance, extraordinary will, and wisdom, you can get the reward you should. Let's get started. This announcement began, and many, half-elders, took advantage of the more technical downfalls, took out the list, and announced that the more skilled inner disciples came to power. The inner disciple had originally more than 5,000 people. This time, the assessment of the demon battlefield had a problem. All the disciples who were assessed were promoted, and the number of people increased sharply. Therefore, this mountain river list competition is the most mixed. However, no matter how many disciples, the strength of the Yuha Gate is well organized, there will be no confusion. No, 19 Taiwan, Fang Han, Yin Shihai. Fang Han heard his name and immediately went up. Many inside disciples and outside disciples looked at him. He is now a celebrity. He is not a self-sufficient model. He wants to see his appearance as an ugly one, even those big elders have looked at him. Indigo also stared at him, his face showing a hint of surprise, frowning, seemingly thinking about something. The seal of the Jinluo body, as well as the hidden characters of the refining system, really have some effect. Although these people feel the abnormal atmosphere of my body, They are not aware that I am a master of the mysterious secret. I felt the eyes of many elders, and I was prepared to do it in the cold heart. He now hides his body's mana in his mind. At the same time, he uses various symbols to seal his seals. He does not show a bit of mana. He can even hide some of the masters of the mysterious secrets, but the time is not too long. After a long time, the seal weakened and it was discovered immediately. Huang Quan, originally a secret, a synonym for jealousy, a hidden character of the refining system, also has its own uniqueness. Only when he encountered a strong enemy, he fiercely untied the seal. Now that he has demonstrated strength too early and let others prepare, there is still trouble. You are the one who is not self-sufficient. I heard that your 7 gourd was taken away by the Chinese brother. But you actually beat the original sword and it was a little unique. But lost the silver snake sword. The original sword is empty, one waste. I want to see what you have today. Standing opposite is Fang Han's opponent, Yin Shihai. Wearing a water-fire robes, but a month-old white dress, Guangwa faint, a whirlpool-like mana is regularly fluctuating, although not a spirit, but it is a stronger vestment than a water-fire robe. And in his hand, holding a sword, this sword is pure jade, not gold and iron, but the sharpness is exposed, Guang shines. My flying sword, called Kun Yu, has a spirit array and a sword. It is my occasional adventure. I got the treasure of the ancient Chu in the Kunshan mountain in the ancient mountains. This sword works with my heart. 28 black and white horses have been pulling it. You have to parry. Yin Shihai giggled and said the power of the Kun Yu sword in his hand in an attempt to create pressure on Fang Han. This insider disciple is obviously also a bad character. Between the heavens and the earth, there are many ruined ancient cave houses, and many artifacts are left behind. Occasionally, there will be disciples to explore the barren hills and get adventures. Yin Shihai's voice just fell, not waiting for Fang Han's speech. Suddenly, a thick smoke emerged from his body, suddenly collapsed and covered with smoke, and he lost his mark. The whole person seems to be invisible. Spirit of the fog, hidden. Fang Han looked at it and blurted out. The spiritual fog barrier is a kind of law, which can make a fog in a few miles, and the hidden character naturally hides the charm of the figure. However, the hidden characters launched by this, Yin Shihai, actually hide their own flying swords, but they are more sophisticated than the general hidden characters. Hey, in the thick fog, an invisible and sharp gold wind, killing it. Between the moments, heavy fog, hidden body, sacrifice flying sword, poisoned hands. This Yin Shihai is so powerful, in one go, it is hard to prevent. When Fang Han's hand in a sword, the magical incomparable appearance, purple electric flashing, but the Fang Jian Shui sacred the sword, casually waved, actually blocked the invisible sharp gold wind. Among the loud noises, the purple electric flashes, and the invisible gold wind smashes, showing the form, which is the Kun Yu Jian, and the sword of Fang Han's hand is broken into 2 pieces. Kun Yu Jian is a flying sword, which can naturally defeat the sword. However, the sword is broken, Fang Han does not stop, the body flickers, the mouth screams, not the Tianlong octave, but it is the authentic long song of the feather door. The world is full of anger, long songs are crying, death sacrifices are dead. The huge sound wave swept, the thick fog was like a wind and a cloud, and it was swept away. Even the Kun Yu Jian was shocked and paused. A shadow in the corner of the ring twisted and appeared. It was Yin Shihai. Fang Han didn't stop at all. In this shouting sound, he swooped up and punched his fists and fists. He shot all the violent winds of the whole place, and all of them went to Yin Shihai. It seems that piling, in general, Yin Shihai has not reacted, and the body has been smashed dozens of punches. The vestment on the body is shattered and screams, and the whole person's garbage is generally swept down. Coma in the past. Dang dang, Kun Yujian lost his command and fell to the ground. Hey, Fang Han had a successful move, and he did not pick a sword, clap his hands, walked down the platform, and returned to where he was sitting, clean and neat. Fang Han won. The half-elder announced that many of the disciples had cast a strange look on the other side. Just after the fog on the stage, the general disciples did not see how Fang Han won, and he was puzzled. He actually won. Is he a magic weapon to resist Kun Yujian? Maybe. It is said that he and the indigo will have some relationship. Maybe borrowed another flying sword. The original Zheng Kong is not his opponent. It is normal for Yin Shihai to parry him. Look over there. The sword is up. In addition to Fang Han here, there have been wonderful battles on various platforms. Each of the inner disciples won the victory, the failure failed, and some of the disciples were immediately injured after being seriously injured, and they were treated by the elders of the mysterious secrets. With supernatural treatment, as long as there is still a breath left, you can turn around. However, because some injuries are too heavy, martial arts are greatly regressed, but they are inevitable. Yi Shi brother, I don't think I can. At this moment, on another platform, Yi Nanshan confronted an inner disciple. The inner disciple did not take the initiative to admit defeat and jumped down the ring. Yi Nanshan is a soldier who does not fight. Fang Han, I don't think you won a game. It seems that you still have some cards. But I hope you don't touch me today. In this case, you can enjoy a few more hours of life. Seeing Fang Han actually defeated his opponent, Yi Nanshan's eyes were cold and he came out, and his face was not smiling. I will make you regret this sentence. Fang Han licked his lips. Haha, Yi Nanshan seems to have encountered something ridiculous, do you know? I have treasures on my body. This treasure is not something you can compete with, then the 7 gourds you have taken away. Nothing, what do you like to compete with me? But when we are right, I will not give you the opportunity to say the words of admit defeat. Between Yi Nanshan's words, he turned and left. His words were to exert pressure on Fang Han and make him nervous. If I didn't cultivate into the mysterious mystery, I was really upset by your words, but now. Fang Hengsen sneered, but closed his eyes. I don't know if it was a coincidence, or someone deliberately arranged it. After Fang Han closed his eyes and raised his spirit for a while, the second round of contests began again. The elders who announced the list of the 2 sides of the battle were loud and the first one suddenly sipped out. Fang Han, Yi Tianan, no, 1 Taiwan. This was a sigh of relief, and suddenly it was shocked, and the sound of surprise and suspicion sounded one after another. It's right, Yi Shishong and this Fang Han, actually turned up. This time the cold is difficult. How is he the opponent of Yi Shishong? Yeah, Yi Shisho is hidden. In the legend, he has a treasure in his body. And he has recently practiced for 2 months at Wanluo Peak. I am afraid it is even more unfathomable. Let's look at the cold. Fang Han stood up in this full discussion. Chapter 95, Blockbuster. Chapter 95 is a blockbuster. Indigo, you said that these 2 people will win. In the stands, a true disciple asked Indigo. The true disciple is a purple robe, embroidered with 9 dragons on the robe. These 9 dragons are all 5-clawed dragons, each with different colors, black, yellow, green, red. He is wearing an embroidered Kowloon robe, and there is a vagueness about the emperor. The noble spirit, this is not the same as the elegantness of the fairy, but this dress and his temperament match each other. Ling, what do you think? Indigo smiled slightly and did not answer. It turned out that this true-born disciple wearing a Kowloon robe and having the noble spirit of the emperor turned out to be the Eastling Bi, and the 5 true biography of the Yuhuaman, who was in charge of the Lingfeng Peak, and the Indigo was famous for its great reputation. His dress, temperament, gives a taste of purple air to the east. The 4 true disciples of Dongling, Nanwanluo, Xilan, and North Yaoguang, in addition to the super masters like the elders of the sentence, are much higher than the average elders, and they are the true pillars of the sects. Calling each other is a direct call to the name of the road number, and will not call the other side a brother and sister. However, these 4 people all call Hua Tiandu a master. Because Hua Tiandu's mana is superior to them, the real skills are overwhelming, and Panwu's vigorous powers are boundless and hopeful to break through the longevity. Among the 2 disciples of Shanmo, Huatian belongs to the giant level. Even the cover suppressed the magic and handsomeness. Yi Nanshan got the training of Wan Luo, and there are powerful treasures on his body. There may even be more than one. This is a bit of a skill, but the heart is arrogant. Even Hua Tiandu's brothers dare to say 10 years. We are not daring to say such a thing. It can be seen that the ignorant is fearless. This time I am afraid to plant a fight. The spirit is slow and rational. A decade of victory over Huatian is a bit more tough. But there are always some unusual places in Fang Han. I am not optimistic about Yi Nanshan. Indigo smiled lightly. Oh, I heard that you have given this square a set of 3 crystal ice jade swords. Can you beat this with this? You know, I know that there is a treasure in Luoluo that has been given to him. Yi Nanshan, Lingbi bounced his fingers. Lua Shengmen, Indigo glimpsed. Wan Luo actually gave this treasure to Yi Nanshan. It seems that he wants to take the first place in the mountain river list. Dragon Zan has been the first in the list of mountains and rivers for several years, and all the sects have made her account for more than half. This sect rewards a yin and yang shuden, and a pure yang fabao golden light fire mirror. The true disciples are all eye-catching awe. Lingbi smiles like a smile. Indigo, you are optimistic about Fang Han, why don't we bet a bet? I bet that Yi Nanshan wins, press a baby, Tian Mu Shenzhen. Between the words, he took out a 3-inch wooden needle, green color. Tian Mu God needle, this is the baby that the Oriental Aoki is so condensed for a long time to be condensed into a baby. You have been condensed for 9 years, you actually took this and I gamble. Obviously it is something that I have seen on me. Indigo face a cold. Yes, I saw the string of bracelets Indigo, the galaxy bracelet. On the right hand of Indigo, with a string of bracelets, like a narrowed Milky Way, dazzling. At first glance, it is the best baby. Like the true children who are like them, the things on the body cannot be the spirits. They are definitely treasures, because they can refine their own spirits. How, do you dare to gamble in the blue? Lingbi saw the Indigo look bad, could not help but laugh. Well, I haven't lost anyone in the blue. The blue hand swayed, the galaxy bracelet faded down and was placed on the table. She gritted her teeth and smiled. But you a man, what do you want this bracelet to do? Is it not awkward? Haha, I am naturally giving away. Lingbi put the Tianmu needle and the galaxy bracelet together. You have to give someone, it is not very good to take the Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet of the Stargate. That bracelet is the pure magic weapon that is close to the Tao. But I am afraid you have not taken it. Indigo eyes were cold and looked into the field. At this time, almost 90% of the disciples have turned their attention to the battle between the first Fang Han and Yi Nanshan. Because this dragon is fighting, Yi Nanshan is the third in the Shan list, and he is pregnant with treasures. Even the masters who encounter the magical mystery are never afraid. Fang Han is the one who ran into Hua Tiandu. Fang Han, why are you still not coming up? Are you afraid? When Yi Nanshan heard his name, he stood up and had a small stone door in his hand. This stone door is as simple as the gate of the ancient ***** palace. It is engraved with exotic animals and complex patterns. Shock, a burst of ancient and desolate breath. His hand turned freely, and an air flow in the stone door wrapped him, and then the whole person disappeared, and the appearance of the shift appeared on the platform. What is this magic weapon? So amazing. This is Luo Shengmen. Legend has it that the brothers of Wan Luo used him to kill countless demon, the great devil. This Luo Shengmen has a shifting shadow, collecting the spirits, and taking advantage of the enemy's supreme effect. It seems that Yi Nanshan is competing for the first time. We have no hope. Several rivers on the list the 8-door disciples' face is extremely ugly. The face of Long Shiji has also changed. In the bottom of the ring, a very good place, the face of the yellow shirt women's dragon sister also changed slightly, looking at Yi Nanshan and Fang Han. Then she calmed down, sitting cross-legged, showing excellent cultivation. It is worthy of the mountains and rivers. The list is the first in the interior. Even many elders on the stage, Indigo, and Coffin nodded secretly. There are also treasures on the dragon's body, which are hidden. She already knows that Fang Han has already lost, and she will face a fierce battle. As long as the treasures and the spirits are not too different, they still look at the wisdom of the people. Whoever has a strong spirit and uses it skillfully can win. It seems that Fang Han, this slave, will never be better this time. Fang Qingwei sat in a middle position, and the stars around him were holding a lot of pleasing, and her temperament was stunned, and her body was swallowed, obviously getting the pull. Big benefits. It is another treasure. This Yi Nanshan hides deeply. The 4 spies have not heard it. Fang Han stepped up the steps step by step, saw the Luosheng door, and his fingers tightened. He did not ask, because at this time, he had used the great silence method to hide it. He shouted and refused to agree, and he could not sense Huang Quantu. Yes, you have the courage to take this downfall. Yi Nanshan saw Fang Han walked up and smiled coldly, but you are just a brave man, not knowing the current affairs. Between the words, he put his hand on it. Luo Shengmen gently throws it. Suddenly the little stone door immediately expanded into 2 people and stood tall behind him. 8 God's sword. He spit out, and a small sword that was 1 inch long spit out. Although the sword was only 1 inch long and exquisitely small, it was not a weapon or even a child's toy. But this spit out was immediately full of it as a sharp breath, and the crystal mons are shot, so people can't look at it. Everyone felt that a sturdy sword like a tidal wave rolled in and felt that the upper body of the sword was so strong that everyone seemed to be slashed. The power of this little sword is more horrible than any sword. However, everyone is not surprised, because they all know that this is Yi Nanshan's own weapon. Let him be the 3rd largest in the mountain river list, the 8 gods. It is a treasure-level flying sword. As far as this sword is concerned, no spirit is an opponent. This is not a tribute reward, but an adventure he got in a certain adventure. However, this flying sword is a low-level treasure. Compared with the 7 gourds, if you use the 7 gourds to spur the 7 killing swords, you can break this flying sword, but it is still a rare treasure. Hey, a burst of golden iron, this exquisite and small 8-year-old sword has a spiritual glimpse, suddenly turned into a transparent big steel ball, wrapped Yi Nanshan in it. It is really a copper wall, no destruction. The flying sword at the spirit level cannot be changed, and can only go straight to kill the enemy. And the sword level flying sword can be changed, and it can be changed into a large steel ball, which can bring people into the sea. The protection is tight and strong. More able to differentiate Zhangguang, hundreds of swords to kill. Fang Han, don't say I bully you, I will let you 3 moves. Yi Nanshan laughed and was full of pride. At this point, he is indeed in an invincible position, and can even be said to be absolutely defeated. The strength gap is too great. With a single sword, it is already invincible, and the ordinary flying sword can't resist it. Borrowed the Rashomon. With 2 treasures, no one can imagine how powerful this is. Luo Shengmen is a more subtle treasure than the 7 gourds. This is simply bullying. Several elders shook their heads. Indigo, it seems that your galaxy bracelet is going to be mine. Ling Xiao haha smiled. Suddenly, a fierce whistling interrupted his laughter. This whistling sound, bursts of volatility, actually contains mana. It broke out from Fang Han. This is. Ling Ling fiercely stood up and made an incredible exclamation. What? How is this possible? Indigo also stood up. Isn't this true? Let me take a closer look. Several elders also stood up. Absolutely not true. What exactly is this? Countless eyes, staring at the chilling chills. N-O-V-E-L-B-J-N.C. Ohm. At this time, standing in the square of the cold, the whole body fluttering, the sky is wide open, a mad air flow is conveyed from the body, the green dragon is out of the earth, the white tiger is away. Dragons and tigers. His whole person, floating in the air, the powerful airflow is like a galloping horse, powerful mana fluctuations, rolling, like a river surge. Fang Han does not use any magic weapon, volleys, opened the seal, mana operation, showing the strength to step into the mysterious secret. At this moment, he is condescending, watching Yi Nanshan, the king is on the horizon. Yi Nanshan, do you dare to speak out with 2 treasures? Let me make 3 moves. Who do you think you are? How can you rely on magic weapons? I will let you know today, how big the difference between our 2 before. I am already stepped into the magical mystery. Do you know the magical mystery? The magical mystery. Step into the sky, you will never reach this height. Fang Han's long smile shocked the audience. He practiced the Jin Luo Jin body. After practicing the magical powers of the gods, the mana was originally strong, and then took the star fighting Faden, which is even more. Even the mana of Jin Shitai is not as good as him now. The magical mystery. It really is a magical mystery. Is this a mysterious secret? Yes, this is the magical mystery. He actually built a supernatural power. All the disciples, this moment was shocked, and then burst into a frenzy, can't believe themselves' eyes. Chapter 96. Take over. Chapter 96. There was a burst of frenzy in the entire Shanhaiyuan. Every feathered disciple had a hysterical impulse in his heart. There were both envy and infinite envy, more regret, and cursing and fear of gnashing his teeth. The remorse is the disciples who have said the cool words of the other side, cursing and fearing those disciples who are cold hatred. When the first cold summit hit Huatian, it was almost the disciples who made the Yuha Door 99 to despise him, causing hatred. Now these disciples are afraid and regret it. In this decade, Huatian will not be cold, but Fang Han can retaliate against them. The mysterious secrets have become true disciples, and that is a matter of nailing. I am very lucky. I have successfully promoted a supernatural disciple. I have to report to the upper level. An elder in the stands smashed up and could not conceal his inner excitement. Report immediately. This is a big event. Another elder is also ecstatic. The group fairy meeting is near, we have to increase the strength of the door, and I can't think of a sleepy person. Too good, originally according to the truth. This time the first place in the Shan list rewarded Yin and Yang Wan Shodan, swallowed down, can be able to step into the mysterious secret. I can't think of this cold is actually promoted, what a miracle. The miracle is indeed a miracle, and I don't know what adventure he has, but the blessing of my feathering. Indigo took a long sigh of relief and sat back on the chair again. His face showed a sweet smile. How? Ling Bi, you want my galaxy bracelet to be afraid of it. This day, the asterisk 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 of the wood, is one of your beloved babies, I will laugh. N-O vel b-j-n.c ohm. Not necessarily. Ling Bi's face is not good looking, but his mouth is sneer. The square cold has just stepped into the magical mystery, the magic is only afraid that it will not be used, and Yi Nanshan has 2 treasures and the 8 gods are sharp. The mystery of Luo Shengmen, you must know it. The victory or defeat is not yet known. I certainly know the mysteriousness of Luo Shengmen, but do you think that Yi Nanshan can use a few points? And Fang Han's mana is so magnificent, at least there is 100 horses running forward, so mana, you said that you just stepped into the magical power. Who would believe in the mystery? Yan Lan held his head and sighed. Let's wait and see. Ling Ling pinched his fingers, his eyes were sharp, and he stabbed the square cold on the platform, as if to see through all the secrets of Fang Han. How is it possible? How is it possible? This slave has actually stepped into the mystery of the magical powers. No, no, the magical mystery, 1 step to the sky, more noble than the emperor. At this moment, the most hysterical mood is Fang Qingwei. She stood up and shivered all over her body. She didn't know whether she was excited or angry or scared. The whole person was in a state of madness, and the disciples who were next to her stars had left the distance subconsciously. The audience was very popular and excited. On the other hand, it is also a mana, and it is in full swing. Even if Fang Hanjin was promoted to the mysterious secret, the battle must continue, because this is the rule of the Shan list, inheriting the rules of the millennium. Yi Nanshan's face became pale and pale. He never imagined that Fang Han was so deep hidden, giving him such a big blow at this most crucial moment. Although he cultivated the flesh to the peak of the 10 spirits, he was close to the mysterious mystery, but the closer he was, the more difficult he was to find out, and how unreachable it was. The peak of the flesh, as much as the strength of Shira, can lift the 13 horses and 3,000 miles of Zanhuang Ma. Some talents are different, and at most they can only hold 15 horses. But even the most low-level magical mystery can be grasped by Mana Vali, catching more than 80 heads of Zanhuang Lai, and the power has turned over 6 or 7 times. This is not counted, the nature of mana and physical strength is completely different, stretch and stretch, change freely, without holes, free to release, not afraid of water and fire swords, more than 100 times more flexible. This kind of transformation requires great opportunities and great vitality. Looking at the high, floating in the air, cold eyes to see his cold, Yi Nanshan has a taste of the lamb to be slaughtered. But then, there was a strong anger in his heart, and the emotion of dissatisfaction swelled. Fang Han, don't think that you have stepped into the mysterious secrets, you can be arrogant, I am wearing 2 treasures but also enough to defeat you. I will let you know today, Luo Shengmen's powerful. Between the words, the big steel ball changed into a sacred sword, suddenly compressed again. Hey, actually turned into a armor, steel armor. 8 wild wars. It is similar to the serious warfare that changed from the serious smoke. However, this 8-year war squad is more sturdy and fierce than the temple wars. The body is 3 feet long, and the swordsman is constantly swallowing and cutting. People close to him are afraid of being twisted into meat residue in an instant. Hey, Yi Nanshan broke out in the whole person and turned into a stream of smog. The whole person, such as the steel troll, violently bombarded, cut, and desperately hit. You are not trying to make me 3 moves. Why don't you let it? Fang Han raised his palm, 5 fingers open, and then emptied. It's okay. The surrounding airflow was driven by mana, and it seemed to be a thick liquid colloid, which frozen Yi Nanshan in the air. Yi Nanshan seems to be a beetle that has been caught by a spider web, struggling, roaring, roaring. Great power. If I didn't take the stars, I was afraid that I couldn't stand him. Fang Han's move to drive mana, condense airflow, and wrap Yi Nanshan, I feel that the power of the 8 swords is extremely powerful, only I am afraid that I can pull over 70 or 80 horses, which is equivalent to the magical master of the real thing. However, Fang Han is good at mana, but he doesn't care. After the mana wraps the other party, the spirit is shocked. The infiltration of the cockroach into the light of the 8 wild wars. He turned out to be a force, forcibly taking away the 8 gods. Wipe the spirit of the blood inside Yi Nanshan. The rituals of the corpse of the flesh are sacrificed by blood, and are most easily taken away. This is also the reason why people with physical bodies have magic weapons and try to avoid fighting with supernatural masters. On the same day, Fang Qingshe took away the 7 gourds between the tricks. The 7 gourd fell into the hands of Fang Han. Jin Shite came, shrouded with Bi and Shintong. Fang Han immediately mentally coma, not help in the dark, but also taken away. Not good. Yi Nanshan suddenly felt that his spirit was confused. Fang Han's mana wraps him, penetrates into the 8 wild wars, and shakes the spirit of blood inside him. Once the spirit of blood is obliterated, this treasure is easy to change. Chapter 97. Abolish martial arts. Chapter 97 abolishes Wugong. Fang Han relies on the mana, and infiltrates the brilliance of the treasures and wins the sword. Under one thought, the magic weapon will change hands. At this critical juncture, Yi Nanshan also showed himself as the 3rd strength of the Shan list, biting his tongue, using tingling, clearing his mind, and then singing a series of syllables, which is the long song of Yuhuaman. The strong sound wave turbulence slightly moved the mana, and then the Rashomon towering on the stage felt the sound waves, suddenly changed, and a huge vortex appeared in the door. Luo Sheng Vortex. As soon as the vortex appeared, Fang Han felt his mana, like 100 rivers returning to the sea, and rushing toward the Luosheng door. This door can absorb the mana. Suddenly, the mana was uncontrollable and blew away. No-vel-b in .c ohm. Ha 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 ha. Yi Nanshan suddenly felt the pressure drop, knowing that Luo Shengman played a role, no longer hesitate, physically smashed the sword, and strangled toward Fang Han. He would take this opportunity. Let's kill the square cold into pieces. Not good, not good. The elders in the stands were shocked. They naturally saw that Fang Han was extremely dangerous. If it is killed, the martial art loses a disciple of the mysterious secret, and the loss is huge. However, at this moment, Fang Han's face showed a sneer, suddenly turned over, his hands were scratched toward the outside, and the inside was shrunk. The body was spinning like a gyro, and it was about to be inhaled into the mana in the Rashomon. Was spurred by his will, suddenly slowed down the speed, now highly condensed, even condensed into an invisible drill bit, rumbling rotation, violent airflow, hurricane flying, shaking 2 shakes, hard moving momentum. If the rubber band bounces, the spirit snake turns back and even collects it. From the back, it hits the body of Yi Nanshan. Bang! Yi Nanshan was hit by this sudden attack, the whole body lost its balance, and the glory of the 8 desert wars suddenly weakened. The sword light that blasted and swallowed was entangled by mana and frozen in the air. The body of Fang Han then moved, like a dragon, free to shuttle in the air, the mana of a strip, change again, not spread, but like a spider silking net, once again the Yi Nanshan net. This series of manipulative mana, highly condensed, is definitely not the first person to enter the magical powers, but the master of manipulating mana. If the people who have just stepped into the mysterious secrets will not work in exquisite manners, now that they are facing each other, Luo Shengman ***** away all the mana and is mentally disillusioned. The elders who were just shocked, once again surprised, were surprised at Fang Han's subtle manipulation of mana. It is really the use of mana to get radiant. In fact, Fang Han completed the magical powers of the gods in the ground 3 months ago, and he constantly tempered his mana, and exquisitely manipulated it. He used it to be pure, free to condense, change the shape, use force, break down the combination, and refine the gas into silk. Sprinkling nets, condensing the palms, picking up the twists, and so on are all very incomparable. He has not been in vain for the 3 months of hard work. Moreover, there are many good teachers who use this skill, and many experiences can be directly learned. Fang Han, I don't share the day with you. Hundreds of swords kill. Once again, he was caught by the net, and Yi Nanshan issued a curse of resentment, struggling to spur the 8 wild wars and kill again. On the other side of the trench, there were hundreds of swords and spurs. The suction of the vortex of Luo Shengman increased again. Fang Han did not pay attention to his curse. The body swayed faster in the air. No one could lock his specific position. He swayed between high speeds, his left hand and 5 fingers swelled, and a mana twisted, rotated, and woven into a spirit. Snake-like wind whip, slamming on the war of Yi Nanshan, directly smashing those Jiangguang. Yi Nanshan's body was also beaten and turned around. And his right hand, punching inward, and then put it to the door of Luosheng. Rumble, rumbling, a group of airflows were highly condensed and suddenly bounced. When they reached the front of Luosheng's facade, they encountered suction and exploded immediately. The huge turbulence has offset the power of the Luosheng vortex. Meow, run mana, stir the airflow in an instant, gather together, condense into a thunder, blow up in the vortex, offset the suction of the Luosheng vortex. This hand, although a waste of mana, but win time. It seems that it's been a long time since I stepped into the mysterious mystery. I have been forbearing for a long time. It's only a blockbuster today. Good personal things. Indigo saw this scene, with a happy color, and the beggar's bet was about to win. Why didn't he smile? The magic weapon is second, it is a rare sigh of relief. Between her speech, Fang Han shot again, mana differentiation, all the wind whip, non-stop slap, played Yi Nanshan again and again. The wolf rushed to the pig, but never separated from the control of Fang Han, several times using Luo Shengmen. They are all offset by Fang Han in a clever way, consuming very little mana. Luo Sheng *, Swords and Sorrows. Seeing that he was in danger, Yi Nanshan was once again arrogant. The 8 wild wars were shattered, and the Guangwu was restrained. It turned into a small sword. Colleagues, the Luosheng gate, the vortex stopped, and a shot was made. Airflow, blessing on the small sword. This exquisite 8 sacred sword immediately seemed to have taken a medicine to make up the tiger and wolf, shaking thousands of swords, and the power was steep and long, and it broke the mana entanglement and killed it to Fang Han. It's like a broken bamboo. The mana actually collapsed. Losing the protection of Phaegian, Yi Nanshan's entire body fell down, but when he fell, his body burned and turned into a stream of air to make his body fall slowly, and landed in the ring, on the original Luoshengmen. You can also give Phaegian blessing mana. Fang Han saw the power of the 8 wild gods' swords suddenly increased, breaking their own mana, killing the flesh, a surprise, knowing that Luoshengmen blessed the power. The power of the 8 Shenjian sword is very clear in his heart, but the power of Luo Shengmen is unpredictable, and he does not know what secret means are hidden. In the face of the flying sword, his palms were lifted up, and mana moved to his hand. In the meantime, the volley of the surf was shot at 86. Whenever each palm is played, the mana is highly condensed, and it is turned into a hand-painted handprint that hits the 8 dragon sword. Slowed down the power of the 8 swords. When the 8-year-old sword arrived in front of him, he suddenly pulled out a series of notes. Hey, hey, poke, well, hey, 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 Tianlong octave. This time, Fang Long's Tianlong octave is not a sound wave, but a twisted airflow record. These characters are intertwined together, as if they are 8 invisible air dragons, smashing the past with the 8 gods. When the Tianlong octave is in the flesh, it is a sound wave turbulence, and its power is not great, but once it reaches the mysterious secret, it will show its power when it has a mana. As soon as the 8 senses of the sword encountered the Tianlong octave, it suddenly sounded awkward, and the bee-wings vibrated at high speed, which seemed to be disintegrated. Trembling for 3 blinks of time, suddenly the power disappeared, and fell straight into the ring, making a crisp sound. Yi Nanshan seems to have been pumped a stick, because he felt that Fang Han Tianlong's octave came out, and the spirit of his own blood was branded and scattered. Hey, he screamed, his body flew, and he grabbed the 8 sacred sword that fell on the ground. As long as he grabbed it and let the sword contaminate his blood, he could use it again. However, Fang Han was faster than him. He fell to the ground and stood in front of him. He stepped on the 8-day sword and let him ***** avoid. Not good. Seeing the situation is not good, Yi Nanshan body collapsed. All the eyes were blaming, and the Rashomon behind him shook again. Fang Han couldn't allow him to push Luo Shengmen. He stepped forward step by step, and his body clothes swelled. The whole man's mana sprayed, pushing the body, shrinking the ground into inches, and hitting the body of Yi Nanshan. Puff! Yi Nanshan's body was fully beaten up by 5 or 6 people. He spurted blood at high altitude, like a fountain of blood and rain. Then he fell straight down the platform, the whole body was broken, the muscles were broken, and martial arts had been scrapped. Chapter 98. Fang Hanlong. Chapter 98. Fang Hanlong. Lost. With a treasure, and Luo Shengmen, who is a brother of Wan Luo, lost. This Yi Nanshan lost his brother. Not at all, Fang Han is a master of the mysterious secret. I don't know the sword of the 8 senses, will Fang Han take it away? No, according to the rules, even if you lose, you have no power to take away the opponent's magic weapon. That's not necessarily, this is a cold and tyrannical. When you haven't reached the mysterious secret, you dare to smash the master of Wat Tiandu. Now you have it, maybe you will take it away. Yeah, I went to Wanluofeng last time and saw the brothers of Wan's practice mana, and squandered the horses. But there is no such thing as Fang Han. I have to know that Kang's brother was promoted to the mysterious secrets 5 years ago, and retired for 5 years, to enhance the mana, but the mana is not as high as Fang Han, and he is not so skilled. Yes, That is really horrible. It seems that it is not a blind man to challenge the Chinese brother. Yi Nanshan failed, was beaten with blood, fell to the downfall, completely abolished martial arts, and life and death do not know. This time, it once again shocked all the disciples outside the inner door. Although they knew that Fang Han was strong, they did not expect Fang Hanqiang to reach this level. There was no such thing as running mana, just like practicing for many years. At this time, Fang Han is both mysterious and terrifying in the minds of these disciples. Tianlong Octave, this is the ancient dragons and supernatural powers. There are not many people here. How can he? At this time, several elders are also talking about it. Maybe Fang Qingxie taught him. Ling, this day, the **** of wood, I can smile. Indigo to this time, set the mind, hand a touch, the galaxy bracelet returned to his wrist, and that day the wooden needle also fell to his own hands. The coffin's face twitched and lost this piece of Tianmu, and he also suffered from meat. This day, the wooden **** needle is a jewel of tens of thousands of years of wood heart. The green wood gas can clear the meridians, point the mortal, condense the medicinal herbs, raise the eucalyptus, and destroy the evil spirits. However, he naturally can't repent now. Yi Nanshan, I said, you will regret it. Abolish your martial arts, see how you are arrogant in the future. Why bother? If you didn't provoke me at the beginning, I will leave a little bit today, let your face go, where will make it like this, the face is gone, people become a waste. Fang Han listened to the discussion under the ring, the face was motionless, watching Yi Nanshan, who fell down the platform, said indifferent and ridiculous words, "No vel b in .c om." Yi Nanshan is very strong. Although his body is broken, he still has no faintness in his mind. He looks at Fang Han with his sinful eyes. He seems to bring Fang Han into hell. His strong hatred is overwhelming, but his body, nothing can move at all. Fang Han did not pay attention to him, he was going to pick up the 8 Wild God's sword. This flying sword cannot be left to Yi Nanshan. Yi Nanshan is now not sharing his own hatred with himself. Fang Han wants to find a righteous chance to kill him. How can he leave a treasure for the enemy? Even if this is not in line, you have to find an excuse to forcefully swallow it. As for the Luoshengmen, then forget it, although I want to swallow it. But the things of Wan Luofeng, offended Zongtiandu, and then offended Nanwan Luo, I am afraid that it is really difficult to get better. However, when he was about to pick up the 8 swords of the sword, he suddenly felt that the Luosheng gate had ejected a stream of air, and actually sucked in the 8 senses of the sword, and then the airflow did not stop, and it fell on the platform. The broken Yi Nanshan also sucked in. Is this? Fang Han felt dangerous from it and did not shoot. The disciples also stopped talking and looked at the Rashomon that flew up. A voice was conveyed from the door, there is a disciple who promotes the mysterious secrets. It is a blessing to my feathering door. But the same disciple, there is no need to fight for life and death, and the family should not solve it. Yi Nanshan took me away, this time come to an end. Fang Han, you don't want to find Yi Nanshan in the future. You are a master of magic and you should be broad-minded. It is Master Wan Luo. Yes, it is the voice of Brother Wan Luo. Many of the inner disciples who have entered the door of the feathers for many years have been shocked, because the voice of Nanwan Luo is conveyed from the Rashomon. Hey, this Wan Luo is obviously a biased piece, is it broader in my heart? I am broad-minded, I am afraid that Yi Nanshan will not be broad, and the death and hatred has already been formed. It is not difficult to fight. Fang Han heard Wan Luo's words, the heart is fierce cold, but he has changed his tone in his mouth. That is nature, I have become a supernatural power, and I don't know anything about Yi Shidi. That's good. In the Luoshengmen, Wan Luo said 3 words. The whole door was shrunk and changed into a group of light and shadow. Upward and vertical, there was no shadow. It was obviously returned to Wan Luofeng. Fang Han wins. A semi-elder, who presided over the meeting only stepped up and announced that Fang Han won. Fang Han did not show the joy, but stepped down the stage, but did not return to his original place, but thought about Fang Qingwei. The disciple in front of him saw him coming over, and avoided, for fear raised the master of this magical secret. Fang Han, what do you want to do? Fang Qingwei saw Fang Han coming over and looked sharply, do you want to be against me? Hey, waiting for my sister to go out, don't tell her not. When you see how you tell her. Is it? Fang Han's hand grabbed it, and Fang Qingwei was wrapped up in an invisible mana. The body was brought over and fell to Fang Han's side. I don't want to be like you, just tell you. Last time I told you that any man who is close to you will be seen once by me. This is not the exception of Yi Nanshan. He is completely ruined and you have to be self-sufficient. After that, Fang Han sat down and closed his eyes and raised his eyes, ignoring the complicated eyes of other disciples. Fang Qingwei bit his teeth, secretly moving his footsteps, suddenly drilled into the disciples, crowded out and fled the mountain river courtyard. I don't know where to go. Fang Han did not care for her. Boom! On the other side of the ring, the sound-killing magic knife flew out, directly smashing the flying sword of an inner disciple into 2 pieces, and dropped it on the ground. The inner disciple was as earthy and immediately confessed. The Red Lord of the county triumphantly returned, and sat down next to Fang Han. Fang Han, your accent-killing magic knife is really powerful. It seems that this time I am afraid I can enter the top 10 of the mountain river. Be careful, meet experts, don't entangle. Fang Han nodded. Next, the contest of the Shan list continued, and the disciples of all parties showed great powers. Some disciples used the rules to use them extremely skillfully and performed well. However, no matter how well-behaved disciples cannot attract attention, because the news of Fang Han's promotion to the mysterious secrets is really shocking. Any wonderful performance of any disciple is nothing compared to him. In the game of Fang Han, as long as he arrives at him, those disciples will automatically admit defeat. This contest has been going on until the evening, and most of the disciples have won the game. Only the last few rounds are left. The red-eyed county owner actually killed the top 10 of the mountain river list. Just then, the elders began to announce the list. Fang Han, Long Yao, Chapter 99, Hail God. Chapter 99, Ice and Thunder. Fang Han, congratulations on stepping into the mysterious secrets. Since then, I am free and happy, and the future is bright. This time, as long as I defeated me, I will be able to get Yin Yang Wan Shodan, Pure Yang Fabao Jin Guangli Fire Mirror. Hundreds of feet will go further. On the stage, the yellow shirt women's dragons, the first inner door of the couples in the Shan list, looked at Fang Han and laughed and sang. There seems to be no nervous look, and I talk about it. How, Long Shamay, you still have to do it with me. My strength, you have just seen it, I am afraid there is no chance of winning. Fang Han slightly stunned, he did not expect Long Hao actually still think with his hands-on appearance, he did not automatically admit defeat. It seems that this woman is not a rigid character or another means. November LBJNN. According to the truth, Fang Han should call Long Yao as a teacher, but as soon as he was promoted to the mysterious secret, he became a brother. Yu Huaman was divided into brothers and sisters according to the level of cultivation. Otherwise, a master of the mysterious secret is called Long Shishiji, she cannot afford it. Fang Han, you are arrogant, use clever. Obviously, you have already stepped into the mysterious mystery. Yi Nanshan took the 8 swords of the gods, and Luo Shengman is not your opponent. According to the truth, I should know that it is difficult to retreat, but that one yin and yang longevity Dan, I have to be. Because my cultivation has reached the heat, I have only changed the last step to strengthen my vitality. After taking Yin Yang Wanshudan, I can immediately step into the mysterious mystery. Otherwise, I will still suffer for 3 years and 5 years. Accumulation. The dragon's yellow shirt fluttered slightly, and the words were calm, and the road came like a clear spring, nourishing the heart of the people. A good and powerful self-confidence, saying that you can enter the mysterious secrets in 3 years and 5 years, it seems that it is really a fire. Fang Han heard this, knowing that Long Hao is not the same, because she already knows that she has broken through many obstacles. Only a strong accumulation of energy can break through. If you change Yi Nanshan, ask yourself, you can't say such a thing. This kind of person, state of mind, thinking, and experience have reached the level of supernatural power, that is, the lack of a lot of vitality to replenish the spirit, turning the spirit into a mana. No wonder she has such strong confidence that she still wants to fight with Fang Han. Even Yi Nanshan has treasures, and the dragons that have been linked for the first time in the Shan list for the first time have no treasures. And it is definitely a treasure that transcends the 8 sacred swords. If this is the case, Long Shamay will please, you must first shoot. Fang Han knows that this dragon is a major figure in the Indigo Club. Indigo will now establish a good relationship with itself. However, it is imperative to compete for the first place. Not to mention anything else, the first magic weapon is a pure magic weapon, although it is far less than the Sun and Moon 5-star bracelet, and 9 Palace Golden Pagoda, but it can also greatly add to the vitality. The stronger the strength of Yan, the more able to refine the good remedy, and play the role of Huang Quantu. Huang Quantu, as a Taoist device, is the most top-level device. Even the rumors can be turned into the extremely high existence of the fairy, and the power is enough to turn the river and the world. Absolutely not only store goods now, but also provide the micro-end function of Wangquan Shengshui alchemy. If you can restore the power of Wangquan, there will be hope for victory over Huatian. Otherwise, the current Fang Han is still hopeful. Fang Han, you are careful. Long Hao condensed God standing, suddenly between, cold and radiant, although far less horrible than Wat Tiandu's Tian Han Zan Ming Jin, but also let Fang Han feel a numbness of the limbs, a dragon-shaped sword, rising from behind the dragon. This long sword, the whole body is the color of ice crystals, faintly can see the coldness of the sword, there is a dragon with no horns roaring, hee. This sword is called Chilling. It is the formation of a cold ice dragon in the sea of the North Sea. The power is far above the eight-sword sword. You must be careful when you are cold, so as not to be hurt by the cold sword. The cold dragon soul is more able to vomit the ice and sacred gods, freeze the blood, even if the master is sprayed, it must be frozen and become a piece of debris. Long Hao put the characteristics of this sword, gently speaking, the details are very, she however, unlike Yi Nanshan, nature will not secretly poison the hands and fight with Fang Han. Fang Han stood up with his hands and did not speak, but he had already been strictly guarded. The mana is not swaying, the air within 3 feet is distorted, or rising, or falling, or rotating, dispelling the cold. His body is strong, and Luo Luojin is trained in under the oil pan, not afraid of the cold. I am afraid that in the ice and snow, the naked body can sleep peacefully for several days and nights. Go with. Long Hao lightly snorted, this, chilly, flying sword, shaking his head and tail, very visualized a ringing nose, suddenly accelerated, directly killed, all the cold, the ice crystal snow flutter on the spot, is the air the water in it is condensed into ice crystals. Hey, the sturdy ground of the platform was actually cracked into several deep cracks. The magic weapon actually has its own emotions, visualization, and a deeper spirituality. Good. Fang Han only felt that the mana around the body was running hard. The cold passed through the mana, the whole body was cold, and the eyebrows were frozen. But he was not hurried, his body moved, and the mana speed accelerated again. Surrounded by a stream of air, high-speed friction, a huge heat wave rolling, dispelling the cold. The superb monk with a superb power, surrounded by mana, and when flying in the sky, the mana and the atmosphere rub, it will produce a fire. Even a long fire tail like a meteorite. Although Fang Han is far from this strength, it is a breeze to run mana and frictional airflow. Take it. A little mana, the body moved at high speed, all the phantoms on the platform, and escaped the killing of the chill sword. At the same time, he condensed the mana into a big hand, according to the dragon fly away. Take the dragon and hold it and force her to admit defeat. This battle is over. You can get Yin Yang Wanshodan and Jin Guang Flame Mirror. After all, although Long Hao is powerful, the chilling sword is not as good as Luo Shengmen. Fang Han is not too hard to deal with. As for the dragons themselves, there is no achievement in magical powers, and the transformation of the spirit into mana. The power of the physical body can be exerted. Where did I know that I saw Fang Hanfei's mana airflow handcuffs, and the dragon's face flashed a smile, chilling dragon soul, hail God thunder. Boom. The cold sword was once again accelerated, and the dragon spirit on the sword suddenly became clear. When the mouth vomited, an egg-sized white ice hockey spit out, and it was hitting Fang Han's mana airflow over the big hand, suddenly exploding, white crystal airflow. Suddenly boiled up. Hey, numerous frozen ice rust sounded. Fang Han's mana was blown up and crushed, and the ice crystal stream was instead derived, forming a wall of ice castle, which completely frozen Fang Han. Chapter 100. First place. Chapter 100. First place. The layer of ice wall is solid and thick, and it is as hard as steel. The most powerful thing is the coldness in the ice wall. It is 10 times more than that of the ice wall. Although it can't reach the point where the steel is frozen into powder, it can be enough. Freeze people directly. This kind of freezing gas is very harmful to the human body, and when the **** becomes a master, it becomes an ice sculpture. However, Fang Han was blocked in the ice wall, but it was not frostbitten, but it was blocked. Because of his mana, it is difficult for the ice to penetrate his mana protection and immerse himself in the flesh. But this way, it has greatly prevented his actions. Chilling, shuttle the ice wall, kill. Long Hao stood outside the circle of the ice wall castle, suddenly pointed to the flying sword. The cold sword actually shook his head and slid into the ice wall. The sly appeared in the side of Fang Han. Once again mouth spit. The hail thunder bombarded the body of Fang Han, touched his mana, and suddenly exploded, and the Fang Han bodyguard was shaken for a while, and the surrounding ice wall was thick again. This ice is thunderous, the power is big, I will be shocked by the algorithm. I am fortunate to cultivate the Jinluo body, the ordinary cold is not afraid, if the general supernatural master, I am afraid that the body will be frozen now. I cultivated to the second secret of the mysterious secret, the real world, the mana was practiced as infuriating, and the breaking of the ice wall was not a waste of power, but now it consumes a lot of power. Fang Hengsen secretly surprised this. Chilly sword, severe, the layer of ice wall is as strong as steel, wrapping him in it, but this sword can shuttle freely among the ice walls. It is really weird. He didn't know that the ice was a dragon, and he was living in the ice. There was no obstacle in wearing ice. And he wants to smash these ice packs, but it consumes a lot of mana. And the chilling sword keeps emitting ice and thunder, and wants to open the mana of the cold, even if it can't open, it must also kill the mana of the cold, let his mana exhausted and exhausted. Like the physical strength, mana is too hard and will continue to be consumed. Fang Han, you have been trapped by the ice wall condensed by the ice and the gods, and the mana is constantly being consumed. If there is a powerful magic weapon, you can break through the ice wall. If there is no magic weapon, even if it can come out, the power will be consumed. This time, I am taking a small price. Long Hao smiled and the voice came in. That's not necessarily. Fang Han haha smiled, the mana of the whole body suddenly shrank. Suddenly retracted into the body, suddenly the ice wall layered up, the cold hail of the gods' thunder again blasted, the cockroaches pressed up, the ice wall became thicker, the square cold really frozen, this time even the flesh is frozen lived, because Fang Han shrunk the mana back. Well, I want to shrink the power, then burst out, blow up the ice wall, and get out of it. But even if you can blow it out, the mana is consumed 780. And this makes the ice touch the flesh. It hurts the body very much. Does he not hesitate to blame himself? Seeing this scene, Long Yan's eyes became a gap. I am afraid this is not appropriate. Yeah, even if you get out of it, the mana is consumed violently, I am afraid it will not work. I don't think that Long Hao used the Hanshin sword so well. This Fang Han is a mysterious mystery, and I am afraid there is some trouble. There is also a very powerful baby on the dragon. This is also the reason why Fang Han does not have a poisonous hand. If it is at the beginning, it will be violently attacked, and the Han Jian sword will be taken, and the mana will be seized. I am afraid that the dragon cannot stand up. It seems that the fighting is not soft. Yeah, it's in trouble now, the elders in the stands whispered. Just then, a sudden loud noise. Sure enough, Fang Han was out of power, and the mana was shrunk back, and then he wanted to swell outwards, and suddenly the power of the horses rushed, and the waves continued to hit hundreds of times in a blink of an eye. The ice wall shattered and then was blown up, and a large chunk of ice wall smashed out. So that the outside disciples, the inner disciples are flying fast. The cold sword also seems to know that this is Fang Han exhausted the whole body of mana, struggling a blow, very powerful, if the mana impact, penetrate into, you can defeat the spirit of the blood inside, so in this millennium suddenly, it suddenly turned and fell into the hands of the dragon. Seeing Fang Han get out of it, the dragon's eyes opened and a hidden charm burned on the spot, and the whole body disappeared, avoiding the biggest impact of Fang Han. Subsequently, her whole person, appearing in the sky, seeing the cold landing on the ground, seems exhausted, mana cost is so powerful, so the palm of his hand waved, the cold sword once again killed the past. At the same time, she was a magic weapon to fly out for the sake of insurance. This magic weapon is a small golden circle, round and sleek, like a hoop. When you drop it, you have crossed the smashing sword of the chilling sword, swelled to the boss, and set it to Fang Han. This is her killer's magic weapon, golden hoop. When you throw it out, you can put people in the trap, then shrink, hoop up, especially on the head, you can pull out the brains of the people once they are quilted. Live, can only be slaughtered. And you can control the enemy, as long as you wear it to the enemy is disobedient, the hoop is reduced, and you die immediately. More useful than forgetting emotions. This is a treasure, but it can't be self-defense, and it can't kill the enemy like Phagian. The set should pay attention to it. Otherwise, it is not easy to be avoided by people or to use a flying sword. This kind of treasure is a special role baby. But now Fang Han blasted out the ice wall, the mana cost 99, is about to recover, and the dragon scorpion uses the chilling sword as a cover, a hoop up, it must be 100 and 100. The big picture has been set. Dragonfly is indeed a powerful one, actually defeated the master of the magical mystery, but this is too big for the cold, not the treasure, it is by its own mana. It is also difficult to fight against the treasure. NOVELBJN.C Ohm. Ah, he started to fight back, how can he still have such a powerful mana? That is, Fa Jing, he has a crystal jade on his body. The situation has changed. At this moment, Fang Han's body once again emerged as a powerful mana, condensing into two giant palms of airflow, one hand in one hand, and grabbed the cold sword and the golden hoop, and suddenly took it. Two pieces of magic weapons were taken. Later, Fang Han's mana surging, circling around the body, and holding him up. He raised his hand and countless mana gathered into a silk thread, bursting out, and intertwined into a dense net, and he caught the horse and put the dragon in it. Long Hao is like a fish, and is caught by the net. Fa Jing, Fang Han, you have a crystal, add mana. No wonder. Long Hao was caught by the net, was originally taken aback, but saw a few pieces of spar suddenly flying on Fang Han, this spar is law crystal. I couldn't help but know why Fang Han didn't consume the mana. I lost, please ask your hand. When Fang Han heard this, the mana was collected and fell. The mana wrapped in two treasures was also sent to the dragon's side. The Long Shimei method is really brilliant, but this time I took the lead. Defeat Long Yao. Fang Han knows that he is the first in the Shan list, that Yin Yang Wan Shodan, Jin Guangli Fire Mirror is his own.